Good afternoon from the North Buffalo Ice Rink and live coverage of the UNYCHL Playoffs. We've reached the Final Four as we are set for our second semifinal game here this evening. And our second matchup to win a spot in the title game is Binghamton against Buffalo State. Hello, I'm Aaron Alpern alongside Sean McHugh for the call of today's game and all of our weekend games here in the UNYCHL Playoffs. Sean, the Bearcats and Bengals looking to join St. Bonaventure in the finals tomorrow.
Yep, they definitely are, and Bonaventure paved their way to the finals with one of the most exciting games I have ever been a part of. Offense, 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 but 3.5 minutes of defense and goaltending, and then more offense. And I think we have two really, really high-powered offenses coming into this game as well. So really, really good encore to that performance.
Yeah, we were certainly expecting this game, our nightcap, to be an offensive performance. Both the Bengals and Bearcats coming in as powerful offensive teams, both winners of their divisions in the regular season. Buffalo State going a perfect 9-0 in the West Division. Binghamton 7-0-1. Their lone loss coming to Cortland, who we saw earlier tonight. They lost to them in a shootout. Outside of the league, meanwhile, Binghamton also has 3 wins against top Empire Conference schools. Meanwhile, Buffalo State has beaten an ACHA Division I team recently, that being Canisius College. So a couple of teams with very impressive resumes, both 14-win teams coming in here tonight, bringing impressive resumes into the semifinals.
Yep, and they get a chance to add it this weekend and also a chance to erase some bad memories at the UNYCHL Final Four the last time the team had playoffs in 2020, as Binghamton got to the Final Four in Rochester, where they did lose to the University of Buffalo Bulls, whereas Buffalo State lost the Tier 2 title game fairly convincingly to the Niagara County Community College Thunderwolves.
Yeah, so sour taste in both teams' mouths from the results of 2 years ago in the UNYCHL playoffs. Certainly they have their sights set on better performance here this weekend. Both the Bearcats and Bengals hoping to join the Bonnies in the championship game tomorrow, and both of these teams have balanced attacks and an awful lot of firepower. 6 different Binghamton forwards have over 20 points on the year, led by Matthew Usinski. He has 11 goals and 18 assists on the year. Meanwhile, 5 Bengals have topped the 20-point mark, led by Brett Sardina, who now has 30 points, 20 goals, and 10 assists.
Yep, and let's not forget Ben Gallivan with 29 points and Michael Guerrero with 28. But the story here, the pressure is squarely going to be on the defense and goaltending for both sides here. Who can protect their net? Who can slow down these powerful offenses? And which defensive groupings can do better at getting the puck up ice to the aforementioned talented forwards?
Yeah, we heard League Commissioner John Marchese speaking earlier this week on the UNYCHL Rinkside podcast previewing this game. His thought was that Buffalo State goaltender A.J. White could be an X factor in this game. He gave the overall edge to Binghamton, but said he thought that White could make up that slight difference. The Bengals netminder very good last week in the win against Buffalo, making 36 saves. A.J. White now 9-3-1 with a 3.76 goals against average, a .903 save percentage.
Yep, and at the other end of the ice, the Binghamton Bearcats will turn to Adam Bloodgood to mind the goal crease. The Middletown, New Jersey native has gaudy numbers, to say the least. A 12-1-1 record with a 3.02 goals against average, with a .901 save percentage. Had an impressive 29 save outing as Binghamton dropped a hammer on Cornell 7-1 in the semifinals.
Yeah, kind of looking at that game within the game, maybe the defensive matchup. The second game within a game that I want to keep an eye on is watching the top defensive players from each unit. Buffalo State's number 22, Ryan Hahn, number 13, Ryan Kelly. Both of them log big minutes and are both active in all 3 zones. Their counterparts for Binghamton, number 47, Jack O'Brien, number 4, Max Clares. A couple of players that will also do the same for their team. I expect this to be a great matchup, both with offensive firepower, responsible defense, great goaltending. This is the type of game you would expect to see in a semifinal matchup. 2 very strong teams with very strong resumes looking to add to it here by punching their way into the UNYCHL Finals tomorrow afternoon. We are about set for the national anthem. Let's head down to ice level, and we'll be ready for puck drop then in just a moment. Good evening from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. and live coverage of the UNYCHL Playoffs. It is our second semifinal matchup of the evening. It is the Buffalo State Bengals squaring off against the Binghamton Bearcats. This one should be a great matchup. Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Aaron Elpern, alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, getting things ready here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink for what should be a thrilling matchup. Two offensively talented teams facing off against each other here in Western New York.
Yeah, this is a matchup that a lot of people wanted and a lot of people are going to get right now. This could be a championship matchup. It's going to feel like one. I definitely think that's the case. Two teams that went to nationals in 2020. Two teams that really also want to get a little bit of ship writing done, considering how it ended for them last year, and we are underway.
Puck quickly into the Buff State zone, but a turnover just inside the blue line. Ben Galvin up ice for Buff State. Fires the first shot in on goal. Bloodgood making the pad save there with the left pad. Hanging on for a whistle. The first shot on goal goes to the Buffalo State Bengals just 11 minutes into the action. They'll get an offensive zone draw here to the left of Bloodgood.
Yeah, Buffalo State starting out strong. Ben Galvin going 1-on-2, just shoots a low challenging shot. Bloodgood makes a save. Didn't know where it was right away, but the Bengals looking to establish a presence early and often in this game.
Max Clares moving it into the neutral zone for Binghamton, but quickly fired right back into the offensive zone by Cole Newman for the Bengals. Puck loose here along the near wall. Binghamton moving it forward, getting it out to center ice. Now into the offensive zone, it's Christopher Seamack. Tries to float a pass in towards the front of the net. He had Usinski there, just couldn't quite get it on the tape. Shot coming from the point, deflected off the glass. Now another opportunity to let a point shot go, and that was Hugh White doing that one, but that one went just wide. Binghamton keeping it moving here in the offensive zone. It's Owen Rowell behind the net. Rowell plays a pass off the near boards, but it's going to be Zach Schultz finding it for Buff State. He gets that puck out to the neutral zone. Binghamton looking to quickly counter.
There we go!
The Bengals in a change. Ryan Hahn laying a hit along the Buff State blue line. First little bit of physical activity here in the game as the Bengals try to move that puck up ice. Loose puck just in front of the Buff State bench. As it's scrambled for over there, Ryan Kelly going to battle against Kevin Cullen for a loose puck. Bengals have it in their own zone. It's going to be Anton Rupert floating a pass into the neutral zone. Bengals making a change there. Maybe the intended target was heading for the bench. Now they'll have to go back into their own zone to start it up ice again. Brett Sardina here in the neutral zone. Tries to get a pass up to Gosen just behind him. Gosen putting some pressure on here in the offensive zone. He's quickly on Jack O'Brien. Turnover here in the offensive zone. Sardina has it. Tries to fire a shot in towards the net. That one's blocked. And now it's going to be the Bearcats moving it up ice. Here comes Nick Galante. Gets it into the offensive zone. Galante has it again. Looking backdoor. He had a man right there. Connor McKendry. Pass was right on the stick. Just couldn't quite get that shot off. Puck comes back to the point. Quick shot taken there. Hugh White looking to go low glove side rather. A.J. White making the glove save, his first of the evening. And we get a stoppage with 18:07 left in the first period. Face-off coming up to the right of the Bengals netminder.
Great play there by Alex Hussey on that backdoor play. That was there for the taking. Hussey gets his stick on the backdoor forward at the very last second to prevent a tap-in. So good defense to start by the Bengals.
Binghamton getting control right off of that face-off, and they set up possession in behind the net. This is Todorovic. Gets it in behind the net. Justin Franks finds it there, kicks it out of his skates. Now he has it, carrying it towards the blue line. Losing control of it, however, as it comes into the center ice area. Takes a little bit of a bump in front of the scorer's box, but Binghamton does manage to get it into the offensive zone. Now a little stick tie up there in behind the net. As Todorovic trying to get that one out in front, does manage to get it there, but it's going to be Ryan Miller picking it up for the Bengals, making sure it gets out of the zone. Sent right back in by Binghamton as we have 17:48 left to go in the first period. The clock actually not moving here at the North Buffalo Ice Rink as shot is taken there by Ryan Miller. Save is made by Bloodgood as the clock still isn't moving here as try to desperately signal someone's attention to the clock not moving. But I have other duties to worry about here as the Bengals get a shot in on goal. Zach Schultz having that opportunity, had a man driving towards the front of the net. Ended up being a decent shot in on goal for the Bengals as we continue to be stuck here at 17:48 on the clock as nobody in the building has seemed to notice that the clock is not moving yet. Bearcats now taking an opportunity to move the puck up ice. They get it into the center ice area. Bengals sending it quickly back in off the stick of Ryan Hahn. Now it's Zach Schultz putting some pressure on there on the far side. Joe Lotempio keeping the puck in, and now Schultz gets dumped there on the far side, allowing the Bearcats to come out of there with the puck. Now a loose puck just inside their blue line. Now moving it up ice is going to be Migliorato. Migliorato into the offensive zone. Puck bounces back into the neutral zone as the clock's still not moving here in the building. And it's starting to be noticed by some extra people up here, but not yet on the ice by anyone. As the Bengals have it in the offensive zone, the clock finally starts to move. And Ryan Hahn picks up a loose puck in the neutral zone, gets that pass up to Alex Gosen. Gosen then banking it off the boards. It's going to be Gallivan now moving it forward. Tries to get a backhand into the offensive zone. Can't get it much past the defenseman White. And that allows the Bearcats to set up possession and move it up ice. This is going to be Seamack into the offensive zone, losing control of it after he takes a stick check from Ryan Kelly. But it's going to be O'Brien finding possession here in the neutral zone, dumping it back into the offensive end. Pass comes right out in front. Sliding in there to get that shot off was Owen Roll, but it was blocked before it could get in on net. And the Bengals cleared the zone, getting it quickly back up ice. But here's a counter play. Opportunity in down low. Shot was taken by Uzinski, who was looking to go high glove on A.J. White. Just couldn't quite hit the net on that one. Bengals back in the other direction. Anton Rupert into the offensive zone, circles the net, gets a pass back to the point. Ryan Kelly gets it back to Rupert. Rupert then goes cross ice. He's got Brett Sardina there, fires a shot. Save is made by Bloodgood. It looked like that might have hit him in the shoulder. Opportunity for the Bearcats to get that puck up ice. As doing so, getting it into the zone is Seamack. Seamack looks to make a move there.
Great team by Newman.
Yeah, Newman making that solid defensive play, getting that poke check on that opportunity to drive it in towards the net. Bengals then getting a shooting opportunity as it was the wrist shot of Anton Rupert going wide. Now the Bengals see if they can maintain the zone, but it comes up ice. And now it's going to be McKendry into the offensive zone. Tries to go low blocker side. Good pad save made by A.J. White as the Bearcats have done a good job of generating some chances here in the early going. White so far has been up to the challenge. Ryan Miller now into the offensive zone for the Bengals. Good move there. Gets himself free. Shot in on goal. Save is made. Rebound there. John Glasgow buries it. 1-0 Bengals as John Glasgow slides in, finds the rebound, puts it home. Buffalo State takes the early 1-0 lead.
That play starts in the defensive zone right there. Ryan Hahn throws a beauty of a saucer pass, hits Ryan Miller in stride. Miller goes in, crosses two defensemen, shaves off shaves off the aggressive defender, trying to knock him off the puck. Shot comes in, rebound left right out in front of the net, and Glasgow buries one, and Buffalo State gets that all-important one-goal lead.
It's been a lot of opportunities in the offensive zone so far by Binghamton in these first 4 minutes and change, but it is the Bengals on the board first, taking advantage of that opportunity in front of the net. John Glasgow burying that one, getting the game's first goal. The Bengals on the board first. They're in the offensive zone again here as Ryan Hahn slides in from his point position to put some pressure on the breakout, but it's going to be Grew managing to get it up ice, and he's got Justin Franks just inside the blue line. Takes a stick from Alex Hussey. Not exactly the type of player from the Bengals you'd expect to see throwing his weight around out there, but he's doing so here in this important semifinal game. Watching Franks here in the near corner. Franks, though, getting it back to the point. Shots taken there. Migliorato letting that one go, but it doesn't get on net. Kept in by Clares, though, on the far side for Binghamton. Puck comes out towards the front of the net. Ended up being played toward the goal by Todorovic. Caught with the glove by A.J. White. He hangs on for another whistle. 15-15 now remaining in first period play. It's a 1-0 lead for the Bengals.
So far, so good for the Bengals. Binghamton, they're having a lot of zone time. Haven't had any crazy chances minus the breakaway. Buffalo State doing a nice job keeping it to the outside and then finishing on their chances. But the thing is, there's a lot of hockey left to be played, and there's a lot of offense out there for both teams.
Puck comes to the near side. Ryan Kelly picking it up there. And now it moves up ice as the Bengals looking to get it out of their zone, but it's going to be Binghamton making sure it stays in. Ryan Kelly now pinned to the boards there as some pressure being applied here in the offensive zone by the Bearcats. They are unable to maintain the puck in the offensive zone, as it's now going to be Anton Rupert bringing the offensive zone for the Bengals. Look to go high blocker side, just barely missing that top corner. A lot on that shot by Anton Rupert. Rupert again with the puck on his stick. Turnaround shot save made by Bloodgood as a good opportunity there for number 7, Anton Rupert. A couple of chances there on the shift. Now he's playing a little bit of physical hockey as well as he lays a hit on his man there on the far boards. 14:25 to go in first period play as the Bearcats dump it in. That will be icing. Face-off coming back down to Binghamton territory.
Yeah, but great jump and great shift by the Bengals after getting that first goal. A lot of pressure in down low on the defenseman. A lot of work around the net and around the sidewall for the Bengals as well, keeping possession, getting shots to the goal. Anton Rupert especially doing a lot of work with his legs and his puck-carrying ability. That's really, really going to drive some possession for the Bengals.
Puck being moved up ice by the Bearcats right off that draw. Now they have an opportunity in front of the net. To the backhand save is made by A.J. White, as in tight with that chance was Christopher Seamack. Just couldn't quite settle it down. Maybe just didn't have enough room to get that shot up elevated towards the goaltender White. makes the save, but it's going to be still moving here in the offensive zone as the Bearcats look to create another chance here as it's Roll moving it along behind the net, making sure it keeps moving in the offensive zone, gets it to Usinski. Usinski cycling it down low. He's got Seamack here in the corner. Seamack looking for something as he camps out behind the net, tries to bank it off the back of the net, gets it to a teammate eventually. Usinski now in the far corner. He has Jeff Hyde watching him over there on the far side. Eventually passes attempted out towards the front of the net, but getting in the way there was John Glasgow. Now out to the point. Bengals unable to clear the zone, though, as it's going to be the Bearcats keeping it in there on the far side of the rink. Jeff Hyde with an opportunity to clear the zone. He does so, but a little bit too much on that one, as that one goes to the length of the ice, and the Bengals will be guilty of an icing here.
Still, Bengals did a really nice job of defending in their own end. Bearcats were doing a nice job with some possession right there. But everything, again, was kept to the outside. Hyde with a nice stick in the corner, dislodging a man from the puck to just continue to just make that possession tougher, making the Bearcats work for every inch they get on the ice. I expect to see a lot more of that from the Bengals as the game goes on.
There's a group that's been out there for a little while for Buff State. We'll see whether or not they can get it out of the zone here, or if the Bearcats can put a little bit more pressure on. The Bengals do clear the zone. Here comes Guerrero into the offensive zone. He tries to go glove side, just missed the net wide. Opportunity to counter and come back in the opposite direction. It's going to be McKendry into the offensive zone for the Bearcats. His shot also misses the far post wide. And now here on the near side, it is kept in on the play, as it's going to be now Ryan Hahn looking to start the breakout. He goes high with that up the far boards.
Nothing.
No icing on this play, as it will be the Bearcats looking to go back for it and start up ice. Pass connects. Now it's Galante here with the puck on his own blue line. Gets that one up ice. Now here come the Bearcats into the offensive zone. Shot is taken. That one looked like it was deflected just a little bit off the stick of Max Clares and goes wide. Now pinned against the boards here in the near corner. Two players from each side trying to come out of there with possession. Galante eventually does. Galante now trying to chase that one down on the far side. He has some help from Cullen. Cullen then circling out of that corner, tries to get a backhand pass over to Galante. That one doesn't connect, but it's going to be the Bearcats keeping it moving in the offensive zone. Cole Newman, though, finding possession of it, trying to get it out here on the near side, but it's kept in on the point by Migliorato. Over to the far side as the Bearcats have been in the offensive zone here for a decent little bit of time. Find a loose puck there in the far side. Shot is taken from a strange angle. A.J. White maybe didn't see it, or maybe thought he was in the proper position to make the save. It got by him, though, and it's number 7, Kevin Cullen, getting the goal. We've got a 1-1 hockey game as Binghamton equals the score.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like a matter of when, not if at that point. Binghamton was having all kinds of possession in the offensive end, and Kevin Cullen just kind of stands in kind of a weird spot, just kind of says, to heck with it, I'm going to put it on net. He does. It hits AJ right in the right spot on his leg or on his side and ends up behind him, and Binghamton gets this game tied.
And they have it in the offensive zone again, looking to get another one as Grew's shot goes off the arm of A.J. White. Good save on that one. 11:45 now to play here in the first period. Binghamton keeping it in there on the far side, but it comes out into the neutral zone. Brett Sardina quickly up ice. He has Alex Gosin who fires a shot in towards the net. Glove save made by Bloodgood. He hangs on for a whistle. And the face-off will be coming up in the Bearcat zone with 11 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the first period. A 1-1 score here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink.
Yeah, this response is going to be really, really big by Buffalo State. They got the first goal, which is always wonderful to have, but Binghamton has been on them since that puck went in, and now they need to respond after allowing a goal. So let's see what they can do here, because you do not want to get caught on your heels against this team.
Binghamton getting the puck up ice, but the zone entry not as clean as it could have gone. It might have been offsides there, and they had to clear the zone. That gives the Bengals a chance to get it up ice. Dump in right on goal, then fired right in towards the net again as it was Anton Rupert finding that loose puck. Backhand was handled by Bloodgood. Hangs on for another whistle. 11:13 to go now in the first period. Faceoff will be coming up to the right of Bloodgood.
So it appears as though that Buffalo State has decided that they're going to stay in attack mode. That is the right call against this team. They're sending their forwards in on the forecheck, and they're just putting pucks on the net everywhere they possibly can. They're just trying to get shots in tight and trying to keep possession out of their own end.
Quickly up ice come the Bearcats as a kind of a sneaky little backhand was sent in on goal by Franks. Shot comes in from the point. Now that one is deflected wide, but it's the Bearcats keeping the pressure on behind the Bengals net. Puck comes up, though, and Anton Rupert getting a chance to get it out of the zone. He needs some help from Alex Gosin to do so. Kept in at the point, though. Good defensive play made there as the man slid in to make sure that play stayed just inside the blue line. Grew doing the work there for the Bearcats. Comes out to Alex Gosin, though, and he gains the blue line, dumps the puck into the far corner. And now it's going to be moving it up ice. O'Brien for Binghamton. Sliding that one forward, getting it into the offensive zone. Mike Guerrera finding it, but he can't get it out of the zone. It's sent further back down into the offensive zone as the Bearcats try to make sure they stay here in the offensive end. Eventually comes out to John Glasgow, and Glasgow moves it up ice. He's got Ryan Miller here at center ice. Bengals dumping it in, now looking to put some pressure on the forecheck. Guerrera there on the far side, just can't maintain possession of it. Back in the other direction come the Bearcats as they get it out into center ice. But quickly countering Ryan Miller for the Bengals. Takes a huge hit along the near boards as he lost control of that puck and allowed the Bearcats to move it forward again. Hamlet dumps it in for the Bearcats, getting it deep into that far corner. They try to get it out in front quickly, but Ryan Kelly gets in the way of that pass. Now a loose puck just inside the blue line. Cole Newman eventually moving that one forward. Michael Guerrera has an opportunity in the offensive zone, one-on-one. That shot taken as he just barely got himself free of the defender. Shot went wide and off the backboards, but the Bengals keep it in. In behind the net, Glasgow cycles it down low. Schultz was kind of looking in the opposite direction, though. That gives the Binghamton player a chance to get to that puck first, and they look to break it out up the far side. First attempt does not get out of the zone, but the second one does, and eventually it is Declan Bush getting it out, but the Bengals looking to catch the Bearcats in a change here. Schultz takes that shot from the top of the circle. Pad and stick save made by Bloodgood. Bengals keep it in as they try to move it down low. Lotempio trying to get that one down to Schultz, just kind of didn't get as much on that pass as he would have liked to. Bengals create a turnover here in the neutral zone. They might have some numbers here in towards the net. Lotempio just kind of firing a shot pass toward the netminder. Handled by Bloodgood, and now here come the Bearcats through the neutral zone. Offsides on the play as CMAC had to make a second move to rehandle that puck in the neutral zone. That ended up drawing roll offsides, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off. 8:43 now left to go in the first period. It's a 1-1 score. The Bengals scored first, but the Bearcats had the answer.
Yeah, but the Bengals have not been hit or have not been flashed or anything from that goal. They have been continuing pressure. They've been continuing to shoot. They're shooting a lot, and they're shooting from literally everywhere. Oh, that was so far so good for the Bengals, getting out of their own end, getting out of trouble, exactly how you want to play against a team like Binghamton.
Puck on the far side as the Bengals look to work their breakout here. Some room to do so as the Bearcats had to clear the zone, but the Bengals turn it over just at the blue line. They managed to get the puck back, and now it's Lotempio moving it up ice. Lotempio has it along the blue line as he cuts in. Looks to get a backhand in on goal. Save is made by Bloodgood. Bengals now try to keep that pressure on, as diving for a loose puck was Lotempio, and it ends up coming out to the neutral zone. There's going to be a chance for the Bearcats into the offensive end. This is Roll in that far corner as he tries to get a pass to the trailer coming in late. Zach Schultz in a good defensive position to get that puck out of the zone, however. Back into the Bengals zone as it's sent into the near corner. Kelly going back there for it. And he starts the breakout as it's going to be the Bearcats making a change here. Bengals, though, unable to connect on that pass in the neutral zone, and they turn possession right back over to Binghamton. Bearcats quickly back up ice. Deflecting it into the offensive zone is the Binghamton goal scorer, Cullen. But it's going to be the Bengals, number 7, trying to get it out of the zone. Rupert needs some help from a defenseman. Eventually, they do get it up ice, just a couple of steps too far from Sardina for him to pick that one up and carry it into the offensive zone with speed. Back through the neutral zone where that pass is intercepted. Now moving it up ice is going to be White. White fires a shot in on his namesake counterpart there. A.J. White getting the better part of that one, making the save on Hugh White. And we have a stoppage with 7:14 to go in the first period.
We have had some pace since that Binghamton goal as well. Teams look like they're going back and forth, up and down, and so far doing a really, really nice job both ways. Goaltenders making the saves. Not a whole lot of clogging in the neutral zone. Teams are going up, they're getting some zone time, and then it's coming back. So a lot of pace to this game. Interesting to see if it keeps going.
Bearcats with a chance here in front of the net. Quickly developing play there, but a pad save made by A.J. White. Bengals getting a block here on the near side as it was Ryan Miller getting in the way of that shot. But the Bearcats keeping it in, keeping the pressure on there on the far side. It comes out to the point to O'Brien. Just can't handle that pass, and he has to retreat back into the neutral zone before he sends it right back down into Buffalo State territory. 6:45 now remaining here in first period play as Ryan Kelly looks to get it out of the zone for the Bengals. He does get it up to Guerrera. Guerrera's got a man on him right in front of the scorer's box as the two Bearcats there on the play get the better of that one, get it into the offensive zone, and Binghamton looks to make some changes here. Puck comes back through the near side all the way back into the Binghamton zone, but not far enough for icing. They'll have a little bit of a lane here to move it up ice. This is Justin Grew with it. Gains the red line, dumps it into the offensive zone. Alex Hussey playing it to the far boards. Dumped deep by the Bearcats as it's Hahn and Franks trying to find possession of it down below the net. Comes back to the point. Shot is taken there. It hits a leg. Now in behind the net. Grew tries to feed it in front. Bouncing puck in front of A.J. White. Throws the catching glove over top of it. Stops play with 6:07 to go in the first period. Bearcats have been doing a good job here of establishing some zone time on the offensive end of things. Have to see whether or not they can continue to do that, continue to throw shots at A.J. White here.
They really, other than the goal, they haven't challenged him to make any crazy saves. Everything's been seen. That puck came right for us. Luckily, we're up a little too high.
That was the angle was off. I was ready to catch it though, and then I was also worried about the camera equipment. We've had one close call with that already this year. We don't need any more of those. Anytime the puck goes anywhere near our broadcast position, my heart skips about 10 beats.
Wow, we can't be having your heartbeat skipping any beats, so we gotta do something about that. And, I might have to get my head in front of one of those pucks.
No, with the intensity of the earlier game, I'm already at an elevated heart rate right now, so we don't need anything extra at this point. Bengals into the offensive zone. Schultz laying a shot in on goal. It goes over top of the net, however. And the Bearcats clearing the zone. Alex Hussey unable to handle it there. Todorovic into the offensive zone. Lays that shot in on goal. Glove save made by A.J. White. Had to make a good solid stop there as it was the Bearcats coming in transition, looking for an opportunity there on the rush play, but A.J. White stopping that one, keeping this one a 1-1 game, 5:42 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, A.J. White has been very good so far in this period. He's got the one blemish, but he's made the saves he needs to make. Bengals have been on their heels just a little bit. Binghamton's had a lot of possession in the last few minutes. Buffalo's got to get out of their end and start playing in the other zone.
Here's an opportunity for them to move it up ice. Anton Rupert with a little bit of room and some speed to carry it into the offensive zone. Takes a shot from distance. There's a rebound there briefly. Mark Hager on the scene looking for a rebound opportunity. He ended up being tied up by the defenseman. And we'll have an offensive zone draw coming up for the Bengals to the left of the netminder Bloodgood. 5 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in a 1-1 first period.
Yeah, look for the Bengals to maybe have some zone time. They can get a hold of this face-off like this, or just shoot it. That's fine.
Bengals win the draw. Sardina getting it back to Rupert. Fires that shot in towards the net. Bloodgood makes the glove save. Holds on for another whistle. We'll redo the face-off from that same dot again. Sardina, and it looks like roll on for the draw. Sardina wins that one forward, has a shot right on goal for himself. Now the shot is taken from the point. Ryan Hahn gets that one through a crowd of bodies in front. The netminder Bloodgood covers it up, makes the stop on that one, holds on for another whistle. So we'll have a third face-off coming up from that dot. Bengals keeping that same line out there. Binghamton making a change, sending 3 new forwards out there.
This is what you're looking for from the Bengals. They're getting shots, and they're getting shots, and they're getting possession. They don't win the face-off here, but there's 2 forwards in on the forecheck. Bengals going to have to backpedal, though, because Binghamton looking to attack with numbers.
Binghamton bringing into the offensive zone. Shot is taken. Good block there by Hussey, but it's going to be Binghamton finding that loose puck. Now an opportunity there. It's going to be a shot taken from close range as it was Seamack trying to go high glove, just hit the outside of the net.
A lot of the Binghamton fans here thought that thing was in.
Another opportunity for Seamack, a better look there as he was fed a nice pass right on the doorstep, about 10 feet out from the net. Got a lot on it, but a good save by A.J. White to keep this one a 1-1 game.
Yeah, there's the best save of the game by either goaltender thus far. A.J. White on a point-blank opportunity, gets high onto his crease, gets into his butterfly, not only makes the save, but when he shuffles his leg and makes the kick, he kicked it off to the side, so there was no rebound. So big save, big test. Pass there by A.J. White to keep this game tied.
Bengals, this group had been out there for just a little bit of time, and you have the skate being retied there by Brett Sardina.
Oh, sure it was.
Savvy play there to earn a little bit of extra time for his team, make sure that his line mates get that extra little bit of a rest. He's ready to go for the draw now. It's going to be Sardina and Usinski on for the draw. Sardina, though, being excused from this face-off, though, as that delay was enough for the linesman to toss him there. Anton Rupert comes in for the draw, and the Bengals clear the zone, getting it to the blue line. Hager can't manage to get it any further than that, though. And the Bearcats come back in across the blue line as the Bengals start a little physical play there on the far side. And now it's going to be Ryan Hahn getting in the way of a pass. He gets that one up ice to Guerrera. Guerrera in the offensive zone.
What?
And we have one of the latest whistles I've seen in the history of late whistles. What is the whistle being called here?
Did they call off sides?
I'm not sure exactly what the call or what official blew the whistle there. It might have been the back one. Is it maybe too many men on the Bengals here?
They were changing during that, so it could be. I mean, the faceoff looks like it's coming into the Bengals' end. What's the call?
That is confusing.
Well, there's 4 Bengals on the ice right now.
And there's no conversation going on at the scorer's box. No, there is a penalty coming up. It is a too many men on the ice penalty against the Bengals. So not only do they give Binghamton an opportunity on the power play, but they ruin their own rush up ice by having too many men and making a sloppy change.
Yeah, that's not good.
So it's going to be the Binghamton Bearcats getting the first opportunity on the power play. They have a lot of offensive weapons. One would have to imagine this power play is very dangerous. O'Brien here at the top of the point. Gets it across to McKendry. McKendry down low to Grew. Grew gets it back to McKendry there on the right wing. As the setup there was going pretty well for Binghamton, that pass just a little bit off the mark, and they have to go back into the neutral zone before they come back in across the blue line. Galante's setting it up now, gets it to Todorovic. He had a shot in there from a good angle, a good spot to let that one go. Missed the net, however, and it ends up clearing the zone in favor of the Bengals. Quickly bring it back across the blue line, though. Minute 24 remaining in the Bearcats' power play. Galante looking to set something up there on the near boards. He fans on a pass, but he does get it back to the point. And now eventually Todorovic sets it up there in the corner. He's got a man watching him. Back to the point to O'Brien. O'Brien cross ice to McKendry. O'Brien again here at the near point. Now an opportunity from close range. That one's blocked. Excellent play by Ryan Kelly to get that block. Good, and he got enough of it that it got all the way into the neutral zone.
Yeah, but now here comes the forecheck. Here comes Zach Schultz. He's going to pester this man, make that bro. Didn't get a chance to, but here he is. He's one of the fastest skaters on the team, and he's going to go up and down the ice, no problem whatsoever.
McKendry, though, manages to avoid that pressure being put on there in the neutral zone. It's the pressure in the defensive zone from the Bengals that ends up forcing him to lose control of that puck, however, and the Bengals get it clear, send it back into Binghamton territory. Now 34 seconds remaining on the Binghamton power play as they try to get a pass in behind the net. Again, that's Zach Schultz down low, creating some difficulty for Binghamton. That pass doesn't connect either. It's going to be Ryan Hahn stepping up, moving that one forward. Bengals might have a chance here in the offensive zone as Guerrero let that shot go. Looked like it got deflected on its way in, though, and went wide and off the glass. Bengals, though, managing to kill off more time here on this power play as they are doing a good job of keeping it in the Binghamton end for the last 20 or 30 seconds or so. One last rush up ice now coming from Binghamton as Usinski gets it into the offensive zone. Ryan Hahn steps up, makes a solid play there, gets the last clear to kill off the last bit of that penalty.
Great kill by the Bengals as well. No high danger chances. A lot of time spent in the Binghamton offensive end as well. A great job by the Bengals on their first test on the penalty kill.
But it's going to be Seamack looking to create something there in the offensive zone in the moments after the penalty expired. Bearcats have it set up here down low. It's Usinski looking to create something in from in behind the net. Looking for a pass. He gets it back to the point. Shot is taken from there. That one kind of rolled on Declan Bush before he let that one go. The Bengals going to get a chance to move that puck up ice. And it's going to be Gallivan accepting that pass from Mark Hager. Gallivan to the blue line, cuts in towards the middle, takes a shot, save made by Bloodgood as it was Gallivan getting himself some room to get that shot in on goal. Bengals creating that offensive zone opportunity. Minute 30 to go here in the first period as the Bengals look to move it up ice. Hager just unable to catch that pass right below our broadcast position and sent back into the Bengals defensive zone, as is going to be Ryan Kelly trying to get it out, getting it up ice into the center ice area. Binghamton sending it right back in, though.
So far, so good by the Bengals, doing a really nice job. They're still in their defensive zone, but they're controlled and they're not caught running around. They're possessing the puck very well. They just got to get down there and hold some possession for a little bit because a lot of their offensive opportunities have been one and done with the shots.
Finally gaining possession here in their own zone. It's going to be Joe Lotempio carrying it up ice. Doesn't manage to get it deep into the zone, though, as he only gets as far as the Binghamton blue line before he stood up there by the Bearcat defender. Bearcats have it just inside their own blue line as we have 45 seconds to go in the period. Shot is taken from the neutral zone right in on A.J. White. Lets that one hit him in the midsection, makes the save, covers it up, makes sure there's no rebound. I have an offensive zone draw coming up for Binghamton with 43.7 seconds remaining in a 1-1 first period.
And I'm going to say it because I say it at the end of every period. These are the big minutes where you can either get a jolt of energy or you can get your soul crushed. So interesting to see which team tries to make one last play before this period ends.
Anton Rupert trying to be the author of that one as he had a nice little toe drag shot through the legs of the defender. It went wide, however. Now with 30 seconds, it's an opportunity in the offensive zone for Binghamton. And in tight was Connor McKendry, eventually finding a rolling puck that was kind of lost in the defenseman's skate. Got the shot off, good solid save on a good shot created by the Binghamton player down low. A.J. White making that stop. Faceoff will come up to his left with 25 seconds left in the first.
That's a big save by A.J. White because nobody could tell where that puck was going to go. Both guys were whacking at it, and it came loose from McKendry so he could get a shot up, but A.J. White read it perfectly and squeezed off that post so the shot couldn't squeeze through him.
Binghamton forcing it deep into the offensive zone. Bengals just trying to pin it to the wall here to kill off some time at the end of the period. Two players from each side over there waiting for that puck to come loose, but it's Ryan Hahn, the big Bengals defenseman, that is keeping that one pinned to the boards there.
They just
and
gave up on
the
it.
one Binghamton player eventually skates out of the corner, complains to the referee about Hahn pinning it to the boards, and that's the way the first period comes to an end as the puck just stays in the feet of number 22 Ryan Hahn for about 15 seconds in the corner. And that's the last moment of play in period number 1. Our period comes to a conclusion with a score of 1-1, as it was the Bengals getting the first goal of the game, John Glasgow scoring that one, and getting the response was the Binghamton Bearcats to make this one a 1-1 game after 20 minutes of play. Maybe not the offensive explosion we were necessarily expecting or we were treated to in the early game, but still plenty of time left here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink, Sean.
Oh, absolutely, and this period was far from boring. There were chances on both sides. Goaltenders played exceptionally well in that period, I thought. Buffalo State, they jump on the favored team early, get that first goal on a great team play for a rebound. Binghamton, great play, kind of a sneaky shot by Cullen, big heads-up play, knowing that he had a gap there, put a perfect shot through it. To get the goal. We had some hitting, a lot of back and forth. The pace never seemed to be anything other than fast for the most part, so nothing to complain about. I think the bar was just set impossibly high with that first game with the offense we had.
1-1 after one period of play from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. We're going to take a little bit of a break here for the first intermission, but we will rejoin you in about 15 minutes as we get ready for second period play here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. Thank you for joining us tonight for our live coverage of the UNYCHL Semifinals. And welcome back to the North Buffalo Ice Rink as we get ready for second period play of our second semifinal of the day. It is the Binghamton Bearcats and the Buffalo State Bengals squaring off in this semifinal matchup. Both teams looking for a date tomorrow in the championship game against the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. Hello, I'm Aaron Elpern, along for the call of tonight's game alongside color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, as we get ready for the second period of play. And in the first period, Sean, it was the Bengals getting the early 1-0 lead, but the Bearcats had the answer, and that's how we have our 1-1 score.
Absolutely, Aaron. John Glasgow opened the scoring on a rebound play that it was set up by a nice rush by Ryan Miller, led by a breakout pass by Ryan Hahn. Binghamton answered with the goal by Kevin Cullen, kind of a surprise, sneaky shot from a tough angle. A.J. White might have got caught leaning or looking for a pass. Puck hits him in just the right spot and bounces in. There were chances on both ends, great goaltending on both ends, some big hits as well. So we got a lot in that period. Looking forward to see what the second period brings us as well.
About ready to get started here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink with second period play. A nice crowd on hand here at the North Buffalo Ice Rink for our semifinal matchup. It is our second semifinal matchup of the day in the Tier 1 division of the UNYCHL. Earlier today, in a wild affair, it was the St. Bonaventure Bonnies winning in overtime 7-6 over Cortland. A back-and-forth affair that had all sorts of momentum changes, several lead changes as well. This one hasn't quite been the fast-paced, intense first period that we saw in that earlier game, but still plenty of time and plenty of opportunity for both of these strong offensive clubs to exert that firepower on the other team.
Absolutely, and yep, Tim Turner's putting out Latempio, Schultz, and Gallivan out there to start the period. That's one of their big lines. So they're going to look to steal some momentum early in this period.
Icing right off of that opening draw, just 9 seconds into the action here in second period play, so we'll have an offensive zone draw coming up for the Bengals. And as Sean mentioned, it is the line of Latempio, Schultz, and Gallivan out there. Meanwhile, for the Bearcats, it's going to be their line of Roll along with McHenry and another guy. They're into the offensive zone here as they're trying to get an offensive zone chance there, as it was C-Mac wide open in front there, but Newman slid and made a good solid play to keep that one from getting there. Bengals back into the offensive zone here as it's Ryan Kelly putting some pressure on there on the far side. Bearcats managed to get away from that pressure and get the puck back through center ice. Now a loose puck right below our broadcast position. Bearcats send it into the offensive zone. Cole Newman has to go back there for it. Newman looking for a pass up ice, gets it to Latempio. He just redirects that one through the neutral zone. Bloodgood comes out to play it in the Bearcat zone, and they look to start their breakout up the right side. Migliorado getting it up ice. He's got it to McHenry along the blue line. McHenry gaining the zone, takes a hit there in the far corner. Still chasing after it, though, as he has it now behind the net. McHenry kicking it out of his skates a couple of times, now has it cycled down low as he finds his man Galante there, and then Galante back to McHenry in front. Just got tied up there before he can get that shot away. Bengals moving it up ice. Cole Newman gaining the red line, dumping it into the far corner. Bengals with putting some pressure on here in that corner, as it's going to be Gosen and Sardina battling against two different defenders down low. Puck comes out towards the net, ends up being played up the far side. Galante now trying to move it up ice. He's got a man here on the near side, but quickly on top of that loose puck was Ryan Hahn, sending it back into the offensive zone, forcing Jack O'Brien to go back for it. O'Brien's pass up the far side, intercepted. One-hand shot towards the net by Gosen there as he created that turnover, made sure that puck got towards the net. Covered up by Bloodgood, though, on the play, and he will hold on for a whistle. 18-18 now left in the second period. It's still a 1-1 score. Yeah, this period feels a little bit like a feeling out process. Some great defense played by the Bengals in their end, especially, on the rush there with McHenry. Bengals still looking to get their first opportunity on offense, and the Bearcats looking to extend with a breakout play. Seems to have worked, though. Yeah, they got it out of the zone. It wasn't the perfectly clean zone exit that they might have been hoping for, but they did get it up ice into the offensive zone. Now setting up shop here. Shot coming from the point. That one got deflected and hit the post. Not sure A.J. White ever saw that one. Just barely avoiding that one getting past him. Back into the offensive zone for the Bengals now. Anton Rupert with the puck in the far corner. He stops over there, tries to get it down low to Sardina. Eventually it does get to Sardina. He's got a man right on him, though. Takes a hit there on the far side, does keep it in, but it comes the length of the ice immediately after that. No icing on the play as it's waved off as Alex Hussey goes back for that loose puck. 3 men in the offensive zone for the Bearcats. Some offensive zone pressure being applied here, and Todorovic had a chance in front of the net. Just couldn't hit the net with that shot as it came right out to him from about 10 feet out. Loose puck on the far side, settled down by Alex Gosen as he tries to get it out the near side. He can't get it to Anton Rupert, however, and the Bearcats keep it in. Rupert, though, creating a loose puck, now trying to be the one-man breakout and get it out all by his lonesome. Takes 2 hits there. Eventually gets it to the far side where he has Ryan Hahn. Hahn up ice. Finally, the Bengals clear the zone, but they can't maintain possession of it. O'Brien quickly shoving it back through the neutral zone. Bengals with a chance here in the counter play. Bouncing puck in towards the net. Bloodgood didn't handle it very well. It ends up becoming a free puck in behind the net. And now over here to the near point where Ryan Kelly keeps it in. Kelly getting it down low. Glasgow takes a bump there along the Zamboni door. Ryan Miller then picks up a loose puck, and he finds Guerrera. Guerrera then takes a shot from there. It got deflected and kind of went up into the air where it floated for about 2 or 3 seconds before eventually missing the post wide. Back into center ice now. The Bengals look to counter and come back into the offensive zone. Puck is dumped in on net by Ryan Kelly, handled by the stick of Bloodgood. And then it is picked up there by the Bearcats, and they move it up ice. No icing on this play as the player deflects it just past the defender. And now it's going to be Cole Newman starting it up that far side. He gets it up to Guerrera, but he can't quite get that one out of the zone. He needs a little bit of help from Ryan Kelly, and eventually the Bengals clear the zone and get it into center ice. Bearcats going to look to counter quickly, though. Dumping it in is C-Mac. Circles around behind the net. A Bengals player is the first one to it, but a turnover is created. Cross-ice pass. Shot is taken, but that one doesn't get through. Great defense there as a couple of different Bengals players, made that shot block and then made sure that puck got out of the zone. It does go far enough for icing, though, in the aftermath, so we have a little bit of a tired group out there from the Buff State perspective. They might have been looking to get that changed there with 15:45 to go in the period, unable to do so on the icing. So this could be an opportunity in the offensive zone for Binghamton.
Yeah, Buffalo State was definitely trying to get that down so they could make the change, but Ryan Miller also was on his knees. He really had to do whatever it took to get that puck out of harm's way, even if that meant icing it. So not a great circumstance, but certainly not the worst part.
Bengals here trying to get it out on that far side, but a good play at that left point to keep the puck in by Migliorato. Gets it down behind the net where the Bearcats continue to set up their offensive zone pressure. D-to-D pass. Migliorato now looking to go cross-ice. He had a man there. Just kind of got caught in between the shot or pass attempt there. Another attempt in towards the net. Hits the back glass behind the net. Still moving here in the offensive zone for the Bearcats as it's on the stick of Usinski here in the near corner. Feeds it down low as the cycle play continues to work for the Binghamton Bearcats. That shot comes in from the left point, goes wide. Shot from the near point also misses wide, but the Bearcats still have possession as it's going to be Roll doing the work to get it out of that corner and get it back to the point. High-low game now being played here as it's played in front of the net. Redirected home by Christopher C-Mac. It's now a 2-1 lead for the Bearcats as they were camped out in the offensive zone for a while there. It was the matter of time before they got a good scoring opportunity out of it. And it pays off here as they take the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, just like the first goal, the Bearcats were just cycling and just had the puck in the Bengal zone for what seemed like 10 straight minutes. Eventually, a puck found its way to the front of the net, and C-Mac made no mistake, tipping it to the far glove side of goaltender A.J. White. And about 5 minutes and change into this period, the Binghamton Bearcats get a 2-1 lead.
Right off the draw at center ice, the Bengals played into the offensive zone, but the Bearcats quickly relieved that pressure, forced the Bengals to make a transition play in the center ice area and come back in. But it's going to be the Bearcats transitioning nicely themselves, getting it into the offensive zone. McKendry down low with the puck on his stick, losing control of it there in the near corner. Still battling for possession, though, getting some help in there from Cullen. Cullen now in behind the net, forcing some difficulty there from the two Bengals players in the corner trying to move that puck up ice. Eventually they do so. It's Schultz with the puck on his stick now. He tries to get it up to Gallivan. That passes behind him, though. And now a loose puck here below our broadcast position. Ryan Hahn trying to make sure it gets into the offensive zone. But it comes bounding back behind him, back to Schultz where he plays it forward. Eventually the Bengals do get it into the offensive zone, but it is back into center ice again, and Ryan Hahn going to have to do some work to get it back in. The puck comes out to Gallivan. This could be an opportunity, but Gallivan's shot is blocked. As a nice play there by Hugh White on the far side to get that stick on puck and to keep that one from getting in on his netminder. Binghamton now with a chance to clear the zone. They do so with a high lob pass through the neutral zone. Bengals going to look to counter here as it's going to be Schultz getting hit right along the blue line there. He took a nasty hit there as a good defensive play to step up and to force that one into a bad situation from the Bengals player perspective. He didn't have anywhere to go, just had to take the brunt of that hit with the shoulder.
Yeah, and he's getting off quick as soon as he can because that hit took something out of him, it looked like.
Bengals turned the puck over there along the blue line, but it did come across the line, despite the fact that there is an argument being made from the Bengals side of things. Alex Gosen shaking his head. He thought he kept that one in. Bengals coaches also disagreeing with their spot, and they are right along the blue line, so they have a pretty good view of it as well. Definitely expressing their displeasure with that call, but it's going to be an offsides call no matter how much displeasure they express, and the draw will be right below our broadcast position, right outside the Binghamton blue line. Bengals win the zone, but they have pressure on them in their own zone. Todorovic on the backhand shot in towards the net. Rebound opportunity. That one's put home by Grew. It's now a 3-1 lead for the Bearcats as they take advantage of that rebound chance, put it past A.J. White, and they go up by 2.
Yeah, that's a rough turnover there by the Bengals. There was a two-man forecheck on the defenseman Kelly. He turned his back and tried to send one up the boards. That was read perfectly by a Bearcats forward. They go in, get in tight on A.J. White. I don't know if it was the first shot or the second hack at it that did it, but regardless, Binghamton opens up a 3-1 lead.
Player goes to the ice right after the draw. No call is coming, though, as the Bengals look to move it up ice. Floated in towards the net, played by the goaltender Bloodgood, and he sets up his defenseman to start the breakout. Puck comes into the center ice area now as a Binghamton player goes to the ice again. And now comes out to Grew, the most recent goal scorer for the Bearcats. And Franks gains the offensive zone. Good play, though, by Cole Newman to keep that pass from getting into the front of the net. Could have been a little 2-on-1 down low for the Bearcats. But a good play by the Bengals defenseman to keep that one from developing. Bengals are going to have to drift back and play some defense now as the puck is dumped in by the Bearcats. Now here on the near corner, comes up ice. Guerrera now looking to move it through the center ice area. Too far for an intended target there. It comes back into the Binghamton zone where Max Clares will move it up ice. But it's going to be Zach Schultz finding control of it here in the neutral ice area, trying to get it into the offensive zone. Binghamton standing him up there, making things difficult on the Buff State forwards from getting in the offensive zone. It's been a lot of short possession times in the offensive end for Buff State so far.
Yeah, Buff State really needs to get some sustained pressure or something. They're one and done. It's just not going to get it. It's not going to get the job done against Bloodgood, especially down 2 at this point. Buffalo's got to get some possession in the offensive zone and get some quality scoring chances to get back in this one.
Binghamton getting it into the offensive zone. They dump it and get a change started here as the puck comes up the near boards. A leaping defenseman unable to keep that one in. But another Bearcat back at his own blue line to move it up ice quickly. Puck going back and forth here in the neutral zone. Eventually it's going to be Migliorato carrying it into the Bengals zone, but he doesn't get much more than about 6 or 7 steps inside the blue line. That was a turnover right there for Foster, but he just unable to find where that puck was. He did eventually get it in front of Migliorato, who had a point-blank opportunity. Made no mistake about that one. Tucked it home on the far side. Now 4-1 Binghamton as they have blown this one open here in the second period.
Yeah, once again, a turnover in the defensive zone. Not a great play to try to get the puck out. Pass gets blocked. Migliorato gets in all alone, has all day to pick his spot. He can deke, he can shoot it. He decides to go for the low blocker side snapshot, blows it past goaltender A.J. White, and Binghamton is about to just rip the floodgates open and turn this into a blowout.
Bengals looking to have some sort of response here right off the draws. It was the big defenseman Ryan Hahn trying to carry it into the zone by himself. Get some support coming in late. Anton Rupert fires a shot in towards the net, and there's the answer from the Bengals as the leading scorer, Brett Sardina's on the board. It's now a 4-2 hockey game as the Bengals with the proper answer there almost immediately after the 4th Bearcat goal. They come back in and get a goal of their own. It's Brett Sardina getting that one. It's now a 4-2 game.
Aaron, this seems familiar, doesn't it? A team opens up a 3-goal lead, and immediately the team that gets scored on comes right down and gets it back. Bengals aren't going anywhere. That is exactly the response they needed right there to keep this thing close, and they're going right back at it again.
Looking to get even more of a response in here is Sardina feeling things, getting into the offensive zone, laying that physical play on the defenseman down behind the net. But it's going to be moving up ice for the Bearcats into the offensive zone. They get another chance in front of the net as that came right out to Usinski, and he had a great chance from down low. Bengals, though, create a turnover, move it up ice. Ryan Hahn coming in. This could be a little bit of a 2-on-2 setting up. On just unable to maintain possession of it through that move, and now he has to battle for a loose puck in the corner. Does eventually come out of that corner with it as it continues to bounce around down there below the goal line. Eventually it's Anton Rupert finding possession. He's got a man right on top of him. Got some help, though, coming in from Alex Gosen. Gosen takes a hit behind the net, still trying to battle there with the Binghamton player. Eventually the Bearcats clear the zone. It's going to be Roll through the neutral zone. Roll tries to get around the defenseman. Good play by Jeff Hyde to stand him up. This could be a 3-on-2 for the Bengals. Glasgow into the offensive zone with speed, just losing control of that one after the move, and just a little bit late in getting it to Guerrera. Guerrera, though, has it here in the near corner as he cuts in towards the net. Gets it out to the point. Shot coming in there from the point. Rebound is sitting there. Scrambled around. Eventually comes out towards the near boards. And the Bearcats clear the zone, getting that one up ice. Coming right back at them, though, is Ryan Miller. Gets it across the blue line. Guerrera fires that one in towards the net. And now the Bengals looking to grab some momentum here as they have a little bit of extra life after their second goal.
Oh.
Shot coming in there from Glasgow. Maybe just didn't quite handle that one perfectly to get that shot off. Ended up going up above the net. And now it's on the far side where Binghamton's going to try to break it out and settle things down from their perspective. Can't get it past Ryan Miller, though, as he makes another good forecheck play in the offensive zone. But eventually it's going to be McKendry finally moving it forward for the Bearcats. He's got a man in front of the net. It's Cullen. Cullen just can't maintain that one to get a shot in on goal. Now the Bengals with numbers. Glasgow over the blue line, drops it off to Gallivan. Gallivan fires that shot, but a good stick on puck there, keeping that one from getting in on net. Good play by the Binghamton defender to make sure that that shot was deflected up and out of play. So 9:14 now to go in the second period. It's a 4-2 score in favor of the Binghamton Bearcats.
Yeah, Bengals responded exactly how you would want them to, going down 3. Bit of a rough patch, 3 goals in a very short period of time. Buffalo gets right back, gets that goal to get it to 2, and then they've been buzzing around for this entire period since getting that second goal, looking to get this thing closer so they can make a bit of a better game out of this.
Bengals putting some more pressure on here in the offensive zone. It's the captain, Cholo Tempio, doing the work here against the boards. Puck comes off of a skate and ends up right into the high slot. Zach Schultz had a chance there to find that one, just tried to fire it in towards the net, ends up going into the far corner. Now it's going to be Justin Franks with an opportunity to move it up ice. Takes a little bit of a bump, but still moves it into center ice. Now into the near corner of the Bengals zone. Franks and Schultz bump over there. The other number 29 comes in there, Cole Newman, to lay a hit. Cholo Tempio also adding to the physical play. Shot comes in from the point, ends up going wide and all the way out into the neutral zone. Loose puck here along the blue line as it comes back in across the blue line into Binghamton territory. Binghamton clears the zone, gets it all the way back down to Buff State end.
Got him.
8:20, there's a breakaway opportunity. Here comes Ben Gallivan in alone. Ben Gallivan looking to go far side. He caught the goaltender leaning toward the near post, and Ben Gallivan has the Bengals within 1. It's a 4-3 hockey game as the Bengals take advantage of that transition play.
What an outlet pass from the defenseman to a streaking Ben Gallivan. Catches the Bearcats changing with that long change. Gallivan walks in. He had Joe Latempio going to the net. Latempio drew the defenseman off him. Looks like Bloodgood got caught leaning just a bit to his right, and Gallivan just loads one up and nips one just inside the far bar. And just like that, Aaron, just like a game we just covered, it's right back into it. We have 7 goals, a little more than halfway through the period.
It's not exactly the same way as it was in that first game, as most of the goals were scored in that first period of our earlier game. But we're right back where we were, basically, in that early one with 7 goals scored here about halfway through things. Expect just more offense to continue here as the Bengals have definitely found some life here in the second period.
No complaints from me if there's more offense coming.
Puck comes out to the blue line. Binghamton keeping it in, but it's going to be the Bengals finding possession as Anton Rupert tries to get that one up ice. He's got some help there in the neutral zone. This is now Sardina getting it into the offensive zone. Rupert now chasing down a loose puck here in the near corner. Good defensive play, though, to get that one to the blue line. Bengals unable to maintain the blue line, though. Alex Hussey just a little bit late in getting over to keep that one in. Makes a good play along his own blue line, though, to start a transition play. Sardina into the offensive zone. Has a little bit of room on his man there, but a good play as it was Migliorato getting that stick down and getting the block to make sure that Sardina's shot didn't get on the netminder. And now 7:19 to go in second period play. It is a 4-3 game as the 2 leading goal scorers for the Bengals have gotten their team back within 1. Brett Sardina and then Ben Gallivan getting the third goal.
It's the playoffs. You need your stars to shine, and the 2 leading scorers have brought it tonight. And even the first goal, one of the Bengals, one of the best players this program's had, John Glasgow, gets the first one. So the Stars are out tonight. Let's see if they can keep it going against this high-powered Binghamton team.
Binghamton trying to come back and create something on their own. There's another break opportunity for the Bengals. Glasgow into the offensive zone with Guerrera. The two of them play catch with it a couple of times, and on the backhand, Guerrera can't get it past the netminder. Beautiful looking setup there in the offensive zone for the Bengals. They made all the right passes, just couldn't quite get the shot past the netminder. I would expect number 3, Michael Guerrera, to be quite upset now. He is going to be looking to make sure he gets a goal before this game is over. You can just see him seething on the ice as he skates back into his zone. He wants another opportunity from in tight like that.
Yes, Aaron, Lord help anybody that tries to get in that man's way right now, because that is a man that does not miss from there hardly ever. Binghamton is wise. They will do everything they possibly can to not let him near the net, but I don't think that's going to be enough. When a guy like Michael Guerrera, who's a great player as it is, he's got even more motivation than he already does to get one done here, so I'm going to watch him with great interest for the rest of this game.
Bearcats keep it in there for a moment, but a good defensive play by John Glasgow to clear the zone. Bearcats just send it right back in, and now the Bengals look to break it up that far side. Schultz playing it forward. Now Glasgow with speed into the offensive zone. Tries to make a move around his man White on the far side. Good defense, though, by the Binghamton defender. Glasgow again with that puck. It comes out in front of the net. Zach Schultz finds the loose puck, puts it past the goaltender. It's a 4-4 hockey game. This game's just as wild as the early one was, and we're not even to the 6-minute mark of the second period yet. What a great comeback here from the Bengals. Down 4-1 in the second. They've come back to tie this one at 4.
Great job, and it was a great job by that combo of John Glasgow and Michael Guerrera. After not scoring when they almost had one earlier, they get right back to it. Glasgow hits the line with speed, loses the puck. Guerrera then picks up the puck for him, sends it down low to Glasgow, who throws a blind behind-the-back pass, hits Schultz right on the doorstep, and he buries it, and the Bengals have tied this game. It didn't look good about 10 minutes ago. Now we have a brand-new hockey game late in the second period.
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago after Binghamton opened up a 4-1 lead, I was looking at the Buffalo State bench to try to determine what the attitude was and what sort of response might be coming. Almost expected maybe a timeout to be taken at that point. It wasn't. They managed to gather themselves and to respond on their own. Now we'll see whether or not the same can be done from the Binghamton perspective, as they're a little bit on their heels now at this point in the game after putting Buff State on their heels earlier on in this period.
Yeah, this is another one of those heavyweight fights where it's which team is going to land that final jaw-dropping punch. And right now, Buff State has thrown 3 haymakers after they got knocked in the teeth 3 times. This is what you just love to see when you have playoff hockey, just back and forth. 2 great hockey teams just playing their best, and we've got another period and change of this for us.
Yeah, 5:55 to go in second period play as the puck ends up in the Buffalo State bench. Not sure we're going to credit backup goaltender Evan Kumpf with the save there, but he did get the blocker arm on that one. Now the face-off in that far circle. Binghamton finding control of it right off the draw, moving it through the neutral zone with Grew, and now back into the Bengals territory. Cole Newman with some pressure on him. Gets it up to Gallivan. Gallivan can't get it out of the zone as a couple players run into each other there in the corner. Now up the far side, Zach Schultz eventually gets it out. Then he takes a bump from Justin Franks. Gets it all the way down to Binghamton territory, and they'll look to start it out from the far side. Justin Grew with the puck over there as he looks to go with that long outlet pass. And it comes all the way back down into the Bengals corner, and Franks looks to set up the pressure there. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in second period play as the player comes off the Binghamton bench. That was almost too many men on the ice. Bengals looking to come back up the ice, and they create a turnover here in the neutral zone, but Joe Lotempio unable to maintain possession, and Binghamton dumps it in as we approach 5 minutes.
Yep, Binghamton, wholesale change here. So, yeah, they're trying to get all the fresh troops out there. Oh, look at this forecheck. This is new.
Binghamton making that change, but the pressure forcing the Bengals to just clear the puck into the Binghamton bench, so it's going to be an offensive zone draw coming up for Binghamton as we are under the 5-minute mark of the second period. Still a 4-4 game here, as it has been a wildly entertaining affair so far. Binghamton opened up a 4-1 lead here in the second period, but the last 3 goals of the game were scored by the team in black and orange. So we have this 4-4 score. Binghamton now getting that offensive zone draw. They win it, get it back to the point. Shots taken, kind of a scramble for a loose puck just to the right of the net. Eventually the Bengals clear that one off to the corner. Binghamton, though, finding possession of it down in that corner. Comes out near here to the near side. Bengals going to try to get it out. Eventually they do. Anton Rupert getting it up ice. He has the puck on his stick again. A little 2-on-1 setting up here. Rupert's shot goes off the leg of the defender. Kind of rolls slowly towards the goaltender. He's able to reposition himself to make that save. to make sure that one had changed directions on him, and he had to change directions to where he was dropping to make that save. Good work by Bloodgood to make that stop and to keep this one a 4-4 game with 4:29 to go in the period.
Yeah, so Binghamton, they had their time in the offensive zone. Buffalo State's looking to gather some here. Rupert, again, just using his strength and that lower body and that power stride of his to create all kinds of chances.
Back in the other direction, though, it is the Bearcats, and this is C-Mac with the puck on his stick. Makes a good move, then gets that pass out in front of the net. Another loose puck scrambled for in front of the Bengals cage. Eventually, they clear it to the boards, get it out of the zone. Anton Rupert taking a hit from two different players to make sure he got that one clear. Puck is sent back into the Buff State zone. That one looked like it might have been icing, but it was waved off by the linesman on the far side. And now Jeff Hyde will have to battle against two different players to get that puck out. He does get it to the center ice area. Ryan Miller gets taken down, but there's no call forthcoming. Into the offensive zone is Roll with an opportunity. Had himself a little bit of room to get that shot off, but a good stick getting in that lane to keep that one from getting in on net. Puck goes into the protective netting. Now 3:48 to go in the period. And it's going to be a draw coming up to the blocker hand side of A.J. White.
Yeah, and Jeff Hyde did a really, really nice job right there. He was the last man back, getting a stick in that lane to block it because Binghamton looked like they were going to hit the line with speed. Hyde held his ground, kept retreating just a little bit, but was then able to get a stick in the lane to prevent any sort of scoring chance from coming out of that.
Faceoff is scrambled, then played off to the boards. Ryan Miller unable to get it out of the zone. Bengals will have to try that breakout again. They do get it up to center ice this time. It's going to be Michael Guerrero with the puck on his stick. Had a little bit more time than maybe he thought he did there. Maybe now a little quick with that pass across to Miller. Bengals, though, do manage to find possession here in the center ice area. Now in across the blue line. John Glasgow with the puck on his stick. Just can't maintain possession. Now he'll battle against the defenseman here in the near corner. McKendry finds that one. He takes a huge shoulder from Ryan Miller as he tried to step around him. Miller wise to that one, laying the left shoulder into him, laying a solid hit in front of the Binghamton net. Good stick check there from Michael Guerrero to allow the Bengals to get the zone entry. Backhand shot from Zach Schultz goes just wide as we were at 3 minutes to go in the second period. Bengals keeping it in there on the far side. It is floated high into the air, and it goes off the ceiling here at the North Buffalo Ice Rink. That will force a stoppage in play, and the Bengals should get an offensive zone draw out of this with 2:52 to go in the second period. Still that 4-4 score.
Yeah, and the Bengals again, John Glasgow and Michael Guerrero especially look like they have been building some incredible chemistry, and it's coming to a head today. Both guys playing with tremendous skill. Glasgow using that great speed of his, Guerrero using that vision, creating a lot of chances and making it very tough on these great Binghamton defensemen.
Binghamton manages to clear the zone, but Cole Newman getting over to that spot quickly to make sure it goes right back into the offensive zone. Bengals now trying to put a little bit of forecheck pressure on the Bearcats. They manage to get it not out of the zone, but it is cleared to the blue line, then goes into the Buff State bench off a Buff State player. So this faceoff should come up in the neutral zone. That's exactly where it's going to be, right in front of the Bengals bench.
Yeah, this is going to be a big 2.5 minutes for both teams right now. Both teams have had a spell of momentum. Both teams have been punched in the mouth. We're kind of at that flatline period here. A goal here could do wonders for the scoring team. It would be pretty tough to swallow for the team getting scored on right here. So I expect both teams to make a hard push to end this period.
Puck comes through the neutral zone as it is pinballed back and forth between a Binghamton player and a Buff State player. Now it's loose in front of our broadcast position. Zach Schultz makes sure it gets into the offensive zone. Binghamton clearing the zone quickly. Sent right back in off the leg of Joe Lotempio, and now the Bengals look to drift back into the neutral zone to set up some pressure. They do so as it's Joe Lotempio intercepting that pass, sending it right back into Binghamton territory. Bearcats trying the breakout here on the near side. Franks makes a good move to get that puck up ice, but a good play at the blue line by Ryan Hahn. Grew eventually getting it into the Bengals zone there on the far side as he takes a hit from Joe Lotempio. Now a loose puck comes along the goal line, almost in front of the net. And now Hussey going to have to try to clear it out of the danger there and just get it up to that far side. 1:40 to go in the period as it comes in behind the Bengals net. Ryan Hahn tied up with his man here. Eventually gets it away from him, gets it up to Gallivan. Gallivan to Lotempio. Lotempio through the neutral zone. Can't get that one to Schultz. Schultz bumps his man in front of the Buff State bench. Bengals continue to try to move it forward through the neutral zone. Unable to get it past the blue line, though. But basically the same thing on the other side. Alex Hussey making a good play to keep Binghamton from getting forward. Hussey tries to center that one in front of the net. Just couldn't quite get it to Gallivan. And the puck is cleared back to center ice.
That'll only get the icing.
Sent right back in as it's deflected. No icing on this play. 1:04 remaining in the second period. Max Clare is looking to bring that puck up ice for the Bearcats. Kind of a dangerous pass there going backwards into the zone. Bengals have an opportunity down low. Rupert there in the tight area, just unable to get that backhander through the 5-hole. The netminder Bloodgood, as the Bengals created that turnover, had a glorious opportunity there in front of the net.
That was a great save by Bloodgood because Rupert tried to open him up and then slide it through that 5-hole, and he slammed that door shut. Those are backbreakers for goalies. That's Ben Gallivan. He's broken about 100 goalies this year doing that.
It looked like he had him opened up there, but Bloodgood, really good work to shut that door to make sure that move was only there for the briefest amount of time. Puck along the Bengals blue line. Nice play there by Ryan Kelly to make sure it got up ice as he had a man right on top of him. It's going to be the Bearcats finding possession, though, and dumping it into the offensive zone with 14 seconds left in the period.
Got time.
Chance for the Bengals now to skate it up ice. Sardina has it here just in front of his own blue line. Just plays it forward. Now Rupert into the offensive zone with 4 seconds to go in the period.
Oh, shoot it.
Gosen just couldn't quite reach out and grab that pass across to him on the backhand. And that's how second period play will end. And that's kind of how I like to see it end, with a tie score, because this has been an exciting game played from both sides. Both teams have seized their share of the momentum, and both teams have had stretches of hockey where they clearly look like the better of the two teams. Even though through 40 minutes of play, it is a 4-4 hockey game between the Buffalo State Bengals and the Binghamton Bearcats.
Yeah, that was a great period. I mean, granted, both teams will tell you it was a great half of period for each. Binghamton comes out and just tears momentum right out of Buff State's teeth, getting 3 goals in under what it seemed like a minute. It was about 3 or 4 minutes at game time. Binghamton looked like they were about to put this thing out of reach. Then Bonaventure answers the 4th goal immediately. Buff State, excuse me. I went to Bonaventure. Buff State gets the goal immediately after the 4th goal, and then gets 2 more to end the period. Had a couple chances late as well. So we have a tie. We have a tie game with a spot in the finals on the line tomorrow. So I expect both of these teams to come out with their absolute best for this 3rd period. Everything
we could have imagined in this matchup, we are getting here between the Binghamton Bearcats and the Buffalo State Bengals. It's a 4-4 tie after 40 minutes of play. We're going to step away here for a brief intermission, but we will be back with 3rd period play as we continue to bring you live coverage of the UNYCHL semifinals. Welcome back to the North Buffalo Ice Rink as we are ready for third period play between the Buffalo State Bengals and the Binghamton Bearcats. It is the second semifinal game of the afternoon here in the UNYCHL, as we have one team already advancing to the UNYCHL Finals tomorrow. That is St. Bonaventure. Who will join them? Will it be Buffalo State or Binghamton? We should have an answer to that after the next 20 minutes of play, maybe a little bit more time, as our earlier game was evidence. That one went to overtime. And these two teams start third period play tied at 4 in what has been an exciting back-and-forth game so far. Hello, my name's Aaron Elpern. Thank you for joining our coverage tonight, alongside Sean McHugh, color commentator, camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, all set to go here for third period play. And Sean, based on the what action that we've seen already in this game as well as the previous one, I expect nothing but great hockey in these last 20 minutes.
Absolutely not. And these are two teams that have been giving all of us great hockey all season. No reason to think we're going to get any less of that today. And again, we have a berth in the UNYCHL championship game tomorrow on the line. That has yet to be decided with these next 20 minutes. Two teams that want it bad, two teams that want a chance to get some bitter tastes out of their mouth. They get a chance to take another step in that direction here, so let's see who takes it.
Yep, it was the Binghamton Bearcats 2 years ago losing in the UNYCHL final game to the University at Buffalo. They want to erase that bad memory. Meanwhile, 2 years ago, Buffalo State was a Tier 2 team. They also lost in their final game 2 years ago. So both teams looking to come out of this weekend with some resolution to that negative energy from 2 years ago in this event. And we are underway here in the third period as the Buff State Bengals finding a loose puck in their own zone. Cole Newman coming up this near board. Dumps it into the offensive zone. Ben Gallivan giving chase there in the far corner. Stops and plays it back to himself off the boards. Now has some help from Zach Schultz there in the far end. And eventually Binghamton able to relieve that pressure and move it out of the zone, but sent right back in by Cole Newman. Bengals making a change here. That gives Max Clares some room to get it up ice, but his pass is behind its intended target. Now it's Anton Rupert looking to counter and come back into the offensive zone. He's got a couple of men coming in there with him. The shot comes in towards the net, takes a funny bounce, almost ends in right on the goaltender. Bloodgood, a dangerous-looking shot that didn't look so at the first moment, but almost ended up in the Binghamton net as a kind of a strange-looking play there. Eventually, though, it ends up being fed in behind the Binghamton net where they look to settle things down and to start their breakout. And it's going to be O'Brien and Wilson playing catch in there and behind the net. O'Brien has it there on the far side. Gets it up into the neutral zone to Cullen, but he is stood up there by Alex Hussey. Coming in, though, is going to be Galante for the Bearcats as he tries to go far glove. And his shot just went wide and went into the corner. Galante again with it there in the corners. He tries to get a pass out in front of the net. That one doesn't connect. He just goes back to the point with it. O'Brien sending it back down low as he has a man down low there doing some good work in the offensive zone. That is Cullen as he has Ryan Hahn and Alex Gosen right on top of him. Eventually the Bengals clear that pressure. Now it's going to be Anton Rupert into the offensive zone. Has a man right in front of him, so he just kind of floats a shot in towards the net. Ends up serving as a dump in there into the far corner. And now it's going to be Cullen moving it up ice for the Bearcats, getting it through the neutral zone, forcing Ryan Hahn to go back into his own end for it. His pass doesn't connect in the neutral zone, sent right back in by McKendry. Both teams making a change here as we are a little bit more than 2 minutes into the action in the third period. Bengals connect on a pass here in the neutral zone. Ryan Miller making sure it gets into the Binghamton territory. Chance there for Guerrero to get a pass in front. He had a man coming in late. It was John Glasgow, just couldn't get that pass through a couple of bodies. That pass gets across, and Binghamton has something set up in front of the net. That shot by Todorovic going just wide as he was set up for a quick snapshot, teed up for that one by Franks. Good opportunity for the Bearcats in tight.
Yeah, that was a nifty little play right there between the two Binghamton Bearcats. If he puts that on net, I don't think A.J. White's ready for that shot, but he missed it. Oh, Miller.
Bengals looking to come back as Miller makes a move just inside the blue line, just unable to find possession of that one after making the move. Binghamton then moves it forward. Franks into the offensive zone. Good quick stick there from Cole Newman to make sure that Franks didn't get in behind him. Franks, though, eventually gets a shot away. That one has a little bit deflection on it. Doesn't have a whole lot on it when it gets to White, but he makes the save. And now it's going to be Ryan Miller trying to get it out here on the near side, but Todorovic gets in the way, fires a shot in towards the net. Man in front. Good play on the defense there as number 13, Ryan Kelly, tying up his man in front of the net. Could have been a glorious scoring opportunity for the Bearcats, but the defense of number 13 kept that one from coming together.
Yeah, that's a tap-in if Kelly doesn't get a stick on him. That's the second time a Buffalo State defender has got a Bearcat on the last possible second on a backdoor tic-tac-toe play. A good team defense by the Bengals there.
But it's going to be the Bearcats still setting up some shop here in the offensive zone. Hamlet getting it behind the net to Bush. Bush then trying to center that one. Nobody there to accept that pass except for his own goaltenders. It comes all the way back down into his own zone. Bloodgood sets it up there into the corner for his defenseman, Migliorato, and then it comes up into the center ice area where it's going to be played down with a glove hand by Ryan Hahn. Bengals unable to get it into the offensive zone, though, and now it's going to be Migliorato carrying it in the offensive zone for Binghamton. His shot goes high and wide, but shot in from the other point by Max Clares. Save is made by A.J. White. And now Ben Gallivan moving it through the neutral zone, getting it all the way to the Binghamton blue line. But the Bearcats are going to come up with possession there, look to move it up ice. A little bit of difficulty connecting on that pass allows Ryan Hahn to come in and load up a shot. That one's deflected on its way through. Doesn't have a whole lot on it when it gets to the netminder. Bloodgood covers it up for a whistle, and that whistle will come at the 15:35 mark of the second period. Still have a 4-4 hockey game here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. It's been a exciting affair so far. Still waiting to see which team will grab momentum here in the third period.
Yeah, neither team has had a whole lot of zone time or really threatened a whole lot, so it's going to be interesting to see which team gets the first attempt at a haymaker, as both teams have thrown a fair number of those in this game. Buffalo State trying to set up shop down low. Looks like Binghamton's going to break it out, though. Yeah,
Binghamton getting it out of the zone, getting it into center ice here. Buffalo State looking to get it back into the offensive zone here. Maybe some numbers as they come in, and Sardina just had to settle that one down with the skate before he could bring it in across the blue line. It ends up being called an offsides as Gosen and Rupert were entering the zone at the exact same time, so just a fraction offsides of the Bengals, and we'll have a face-off just outside of the Binghamton blue line.
Yeah, Brett Sardina really, if he was able to settle that puck down a hair sooner, that's a 3-on-2 going the other way. Tough break there by the Bengals, but they did win the face-off, so they're going to get some possession back, try to get into the offensive zone.
Newman looking for a pass up ice, connects on that one to Anton Rupert, and into the offensive zone come the Bengals. Rupert on his offhand, circling the net, now looking for something as he stops in the near corner. Gets that pass out in front. He's got Sardina there. That first attempt doesn't get on net. Gosen right there to kind of pop at a rebound opportunity, just unable to get it past Bloodgood, as the Bengals almost created a very nice chance there down low. Just maybe not enough space in order to get a real quality shot in on goal. But they do get another offensive zone draw as the Bearcats make a couple of changes with 14:53 to go in the third period.
Has a really good scoring chance there, set up by Anton Rupert. Gosen in just a little too tight, couldn't get it through the goaltender, but a good first opportunity by the Bengals.
McKendry gaining the blue line here in the offensive zone for Binghamton. Good hit in behind the net by Ryan Kelly. Now he's got Cole Newman over there helping out to try to move that puck forward. Kelly eventually plays it forward to Sardina, and now Sardina gains himself a little bit of room up here in the near side. Carries it into the offensive zone, just tries to fire a shot in on goal, but getting a good bit of that one was the Binghamton defenseman keeping that one from getting in on net. Ends up being deflected up and out of play, so an offensive zone draw coming up here for the Bengals to the right of the netminder, Adam Bloodgood. Actually, to the left it will be as the linesman skates through that far circle and into the near circle.
Yeah, Anton Rupert really did not appreciate what number 9, Jack Merzaka, did to him at the end of that whistle. Gave him a stick to his hand, and Merzaka gave him a whack back. So we're going to see a little bit of chippiness as this game gets more intense.
Yeah, 4-4 game with under 15 minutes to go. The intensity is only going to be going up from this point, so I'd expect a little bit extra of that physical play as this game continues to stay tight down towards the late stretches of third period play. 14:06 remaining in the third period. Still a 4-4 score as the Binghamton Bearcats make a couple of changes here, and it will be their line of Grew, Franks, and then the center is Todorovic out there. This line has been excellent in the offensive zone for Binghamton. They've created a bunch of offensive zone opportunities and just generally made life difficult for the Bengals to break it out. Bengals making things difficult for that line to break it out of their zone, though, intercepting a pass and forcing a loose puck in the neutral zone. And it's going to be Ryan Hahn moving it forward. He's got John Glasgow just at the blue line. Miller then has that drop pass as the Bengals look to get it set up and establish some zone time. Unable to do so, though, as now moving it forward, it's going to be Justin Franks. Franks up the far side as he tangles with the big Buff State defenseman Ryan Hahn. Binghamton getting the better of that exchange. They get it back to the point. Max Clares fires a shot in on goal. Shoulder save is made by A.J. White. In the process of making that save, it looked like he knocked the net off its pegs, though. So as he gets it back into position, we have a whistle called. A stoppage in play. 13:27 now remaining in third period play. Faceoff will be coming in the far circle of the Buff State zone.
Yeah, and Buff State's lucky that net popped off because Binghamton was threatening right there in the slot. Net comes off the pegs. I've never been happy about that before. But no harm, no foul. Buffalo State looking to get back to what they were doing really well to start this period.
Big hit here in the near corner as a Bengals player is down after taking a solid bit of contact there from number 29, Justin Franks. It was right in front of the referee, and he looked right at it, and there was no call being made at the outset. They're just having a conversation, though, with the linesmen. We'll see if they come together and determine that anything should be called based on the fact that there was no penalty being signaled originally. I would not expect anything to be called here, and nothing will be as Miller gets back to his skates and heads off the ice. Clearly taking the worst of that contact, as there's at least a little conversation going on both between Ryan Hahn, the alternate captain and the official here in the Bengals zone, as well as Captain Joe Lotempio in the neutral zone with the other referee. Bengals certainly wanting an explanation as to why a penalty wasn't called there. Not sure they're going to be satisfied with whatever they're hearing from the refs, and either way, they're going to have to deal with a defensive zone draw coming up in that far circle with 13:15 to go in the third.
Yeah, Buffalo State just has to put that behind them, though. I know they wanted a call. They're not going to get it. I really, just for the sake of the integrity of this game, just let it go.
The Bearcats setting up here in the offensive zone. Roll trying to find a lane to get a shot in towards the net. That one's deflected into the corner. But it's going to be C-Mac here in behind the net trying to create something as his first pass attempt gets deflected right back to him. Now he has the puck here on the near boards, makes a step around one man, feeds it back down low. Now Roll in behind the net looking for a pass from there as he's in the far corner, just cuts out towards the net, fires a shot in on goal. Misses the net just wide though. Pretty nice scoring opportunity as he had plenty of room, and he was not that far away from the net to let a good shot go. Binghamton again keeping the pressure on here in the offensive zone. This has not gone well for Buffalo State earlier in this game. One of the second period goals that Binghamton scored set up exactly like this. A lot of zone time before it, and eventually just too much pressure on the Bengals, and eventually the Bearcats got that marker. See whether or not the Bengals can get this puck out of their zone here as we're approaching the 12-minute mark of the third period. Puck comes over to the far wall as the Bearcats doing a good job of maintaining possession in the offensive zone. Puck comes back to Migliorato looking for a lane, just fires it into the crowd in front of the net, hits a body, and then comes back to the point to Clares. He fires it in towards the net. That one got deflected. Maybe A.J. White caught a bit of it before it went wide. Now back to the point again. Migliorato making sure it stays in the zone for Binghamton, as this is a Buffalo State group that has been out there on the ice for a long period of time. Clearly they are tired and just trying to make sure that puck gets out of the zone. Eventually they do find some possession here and get the puck out to center ice. Right below our broadcast position as Zach Schultz tries to play it forward, but quickly countering. It's going to be Roll into the offensive zone. Fires a shot in on goal. Save is made by A.J. White. But the Bengals are going to have an opportunity to clear the zone and get it up ice. And it's going to be Schultz connecting on a pass to Brett Sardina, who's all alone in the offensive zone right now. Sardina circles in that far corner, killing some time, waiting for some teammates to come and join him. Eventually he gets knocked down to the ice in that far corner, and the Bearcats clear the zone. Alex Hussey now trying to move it up ice. He's got Sardina. Bengals looking to come back. Shot is taken there by Alex Gosen. Blocker save made by Bloodgood, as it's picked up on the far side by Foster. Foster carrying it forward for the Bearcats. Gains the red line. Takes a hit as he dumps it in. Puck here in the near corner. Sam Hamlet making sure it stays in the zone for the Bearcats. Puck almost dangerously comes out in front of the net. Played forward, though, by Hussey and Rupert. Now into the offensive zone. Here come the Bengals. Rupert with the puck on his stick. Good defensive play as Jack O'Brien stood him up at the blue line. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication between the two Bengals players there as they almost ran into each other. Puck here in the near corner of the Binghamton offensive zone. It comes out towards the point. Unable to keep it in was Hugh White. Got a little bit of it with his glove, and it came out to center ice. Now the Bearcats will have to clear the zone as they would have been offsides. They are going to get a change in here, and there's going to be plenty of time for Ryan Kelly to get that puck up ice. Pass doesn't connect, though. Kelly will have to do some more work here in the neutral zone to make sure it gets across the Binghamton blue line. Puck eventually comes back into Buffalo State territory as a little bit of a sloppy change there almost gives the Binghamton Bearcats a glorious opportunity. Didn't quite get that shot in on goal, though. And now Ryan Miller, who's clearly back in full strength, gets that puck up ice. Shot comes in from Guerrera and goes just wide, and then a couple players end up tied up in front of the net. One of them hits the near post, sending the net off of its pegs. So we get a much-needed whistle here. There's a long period of time there without one. Yeah. Get to catch our breath here with a little bit, with just a bit under 10 minutes to go here in the period. 9:55 remaining in regulation.
Yeah, and the Bengals survived that barrage right there. They were pinned in their own end for a minute, and that, like you said earlier, Aaron, that does not bode well for Buffalo all game. They got out of it there. Oh, did he get that shot off? What a play!
Yes,
by
he did, and then Miller gets trucked in front of the net. As the Bengals need to be careful. They might be getting a power play out of this. Actually, there's another player down here on the near side as Guerrera is down, as well as a player behind the net for the Bengals. I didn't see what happened here away from the net, but clearly number 3, Michael Guerrera, is down in some discomfort for the Bengals. Also, we had that exchange there behind the net. I'm interested to see here what the officials are seeing and what they're going to sort through and what sort of penalties we might have coming forward here.
Glasgow's not happy right now. Glasgow just slammed his stick on the ground, so
Not sure Guerrera is that badly hurt as he's just up to one knee. So we'll have to see whether or not he needs any assistance here on the near side. He finally does get to his skates. Seems to be okay. Clearly, though, in some discomfort.
You got two of them.
So it's going to be one penalty apiece, it appears, based on what I'm seeing over there in the penalty boxes. They're just going to call the two players that ended up kind of tied up in behind the net, Miller, and then the defenseman on that play. So
Miller.
I didn't see what happened in the other play over here where Guerrera ended up down at the top of the circle. I have no idea what happened there, so I'm not going to comment on that.
I didn't see it either.
But it seems that they're going to make the most expedient call in a 4-4 playoff game that is tied late there, or second half of the third period. They're going to take one guy from each side, make sure that they aren't giving either team too much of an advantage. Can't say I disagree too much with that strategy here in terms of refereeing. There's going to be some conversation, though, had between the folks over there on the far side, though. Captain Joe Lotempio getting an explanation. The alternate captain from Binghamton, Max Clares, was also over there getting his version of the story. Seems that we have a penalty up on the board, though, and it's over there on the Binghamton side of the scoreboard.
Okay.
2 minutes up on the board for Binghamton. We might have a power play coming up here for Buff State.
Well, Buff State just put 5 guys out on the ice, so Miller might just be taking a seat. Do you think they gave Miller a 5 or a 10?
Not sure what the call was because we're not able to see exactly what all the calls that are made and unable to get word about what the determination was. It seems like based on the gesturing of the referees, though, they're trying to get Binghamton to put another player into the penalty box to serve what is the second penalty. So it does seem like Buff State is getting the opportunity on the power play based on what I'm seeing right now.
That is a big opportunity for Buff State as well. They get a chance on the power play in a tie game. We are in the latter half of the third period. Big opportunity here for Buff State. This is their first opportunity on the power play, and we know how just devastatingly lethal this group can be.
Ends up being a neutral zone draw, though, probably because of the scramble in front of the net.
I'll live with it.
Either way, it is a power play for the Bengals. 2-minute power play with 9:50 to go in the period, and they win the draw as they look to set up possession and move that puck up ice to set up their power play. But they get a pass turned over, and here's Foster into the offensive zone. Tries to go glove hand on A.J. White, but he makes the save on that one, throwing that left hand out there and stopping that breakaway attempt from Corey Foster. A glorious opportunity to take the lead there for the Bearcats. As they're killing a penalty, they were handed an opportunity with a breakaway, but it was A.J. White again stopping that one, making sure this one stayed a 4-4 game.
Yeah, great play by Binghamton to just jump that pass, but big save by A.J. White. That would have been a game-changing goal if Binghamton was able to get that. Buff State's got to be more careful on the power play. They got to get in the zone. They have a great chance here.
They do manage to finally get it into the zone, but it's a Binghamton player there first to it. Bengals force a turnover. Now they get to set it up. Guerrera at the near point, looking to go cross ice. He's got Rupert there. Rupert back up to the midpoint. He's got Ryan Kelly. Now Rupert again. Cross ice to Guerrera. Fires that shot in on goal. Pad save is made by Bloodgood, as maybe just at fraction of a second that it took him to get over was just enough to make that save. Now the puck here in the near corner. It's going to be Sardina setting it up. Looking for a pass as he skates in towards the net, switches positions with Gallivan. Gallivan tries to get that pass across ice. Good defensive play as intercepting that one and sending it the length of the ice was Migliorato. Bengals looking to catch Binghamton maybe in a change, but just slowing it down and then moving it up ice is going to be Gallivan. Bengals connecting on a couple of passes. They have it inside the zone, but Anton Rupert falls on the play, and that gives Binghamton a chance to clear it the length of the ice. They do so. Now 40 seconds remaining on their penalty. Ryan Kelly slowly up the ice, gets it to Gallivan. Gallivan has plenty of room to work with here. Making sure he gains the blue line. That could have been offsides. I thought it might have been. No call is made. Puck stays in here in the near boards. Ryan Hahn getting it down low to Guerrera. Guerrera along the goal line looking for a pass or a shot. Tries to get it down low. Good defensive play made as it was Hamlet getting in the way of that pass. Getting at one, sent the length of the ice. Now just 10 seconds remaining in the Buff State power play. As they make a couple of changes, get some fresh units out there, and this is Cole Newman carrying it towards the center of the ice, looking to get that one up ice, but that one doesn't connect. Eventually, though, Glasgow finds that loose puck, now carries it into the offensive zone. Good defense there by O'Brien to keep Glasgow from driving in towards the net, And now O'Brien has the puck on his stick there in the near corner, sees that lane through the middle of the ice, just sends it the length of the ice all the way back down to Buffalo State territory. A.J. White out to play it up ice. Dumped into the offensive zone as the captain, Joe Lotempio, makes sure that puck kept moving forward. Zach Schultz putting some pressure on his fellow number 44 there in the offensive zone, but Binghamton breaks that pressure and getting it out of the zone. Schultz, though, causing a turnover there just outside the blue line. Bengals send it right back in. 7:15 remaining in regulation. As the puck is on the far boards, Captain Joe Lotempio keeps it in for the Bengals. He gets it down low to Glasgow. Glasgow has a man sneaking in from the point. He gets it back to Hahn. Hahn fires it through traffic. That one hits a pad and goes wide into the far corner. As we are now at 7 minutes to go in the period. Binghamton with that long pass through the neutral zone. Buff State getting in the way, looking to counter quickly. Glasgow making sure it gets dumped into the offensive zone. Bengals getting that pressure set up as the captain, Joe Lotempio, puts some heat on the two defenders down low. Puck comes out the near side as it's going to be Roll trying to get it out of the zone. He eventually does, gets that one up ice, and he's got Usinski. Usinski drops that pass to Seamack. Rebound opportunities there for a moment, and Usinski just unable to get to it as eventually the Bengals cleared that one away. Now it's going to be carried up ice. Cole Newman takes a little bit of a slash there from the back-checking player, just manages to dump it in from his side of the red line. Doesn't gain the center ice red line, so that one's going to be icing on the play, despite the fact that Newman clearly didn't agree with the call, letting the linesman know that. I would prefer him not to continue that conversation if I had my choice in matters. Either way, 6:21 to go here in the period. 6:21 in the third period. Face-off coming up to the right of the Buff State goal in the near circle here in the Buffalo State zone. As just a little bit of conversation about which Bengals players should be out there for this face-off.
And yeah, they got Rupert. He was trying to be sneaky with Rupert, so he's going to make his way to the bench. So they're going to keep, it's going to be Sardina, Glasgow, and Lotempio out there.
That extra little bit of a delay isn't the worst thing, though, after an icing. Just making sure that everyone who's out there, who's maybe been out there for a little extra time, gets that extra breath. So it's going to be Sardina and McKendry here on this draw. Binghamton winning that draw. Shot through traffic, doesn't get in towards the net. Glasgow finds that loose puck, carries it forward, gets it to the red line, dumps it in, chases in after it himself. As we approach 6 minutes to go in regulation, John Glasgow with the puck here in the offensive zone, gets it down low to Sardina. He takes a hit, goes to his knees, back up on his skates, now back to the point. Shot through traffic, redirected by Guerrera, and a great save by Bloodgood as that shot definitely changed directions on it.
At least once, probably twice. That thing got tipped once and then it bounced. So great save there by the outstanding Binghamton goaltender, Adam Bloodgood.
Puck is sent the length of the ice by the Bengals. In the aftermath of that, it ended up kind of getting on its edge and rolling all the way down the ice. So it's going to be a draw coming up in the Buff State zone. 5:45 now left in regulation. This has been a back-and-forth game, and it's setting up to be an exciting finish here between Binghamton and Buff State.
And that's exactly the way we wanted it, too. These are two of the best teams in the UNYCHL facing off, and we're getting one of the best games we've seen, and that's an encore to what was an incredible St. Bonaventure-Cortland game as well.
Binghamton winning the faceoff. They almost get an opportunity to get that one right out in front of the net. Gru's pass, though, misses everyone, comes back out into center ice. They'll have to regroup there before they can start back towards the Buffalo State blue line. Sardina getting in the way there, but it's sent right back to the Buff State blue line. Franks now with an opportunity to carry it in. Great defense by Alex Hussey as one of the more dangerous Binghamton players was looking to walk around him. Hussey got just enough of him to make sure that didn't work out. Puck sent back in again as we have now 5:15 to go in third period play. Ryan Hahn with two men on him, harassing him in the near corner. Good work to get it away from them, make sure it got out of the zone. And now it's going to be Guerrero with a chance to carry it into the offensive end. Guerrero lets a shot go through the legs of the defender, looking for that rebound opportunity. Takes a hit then from Franks, and now the two of them get tied up in the far corner. Somebody should get in there and separate this one before both teams.
Those are two of the best players. They shouldn't be doing
neither
this.
team needs this because those are two of the best offensive weapons on either bench. They don't need to be losing either one of them for any period of time. Would have liked to have seen a player from each side come in there and try to save their better player from taking a penalty. But clearly Guerrero is heading to the box here. Franks also likely will be, as that continued just too long for the officials to let it go. So we'll have what should be matching minors here at the 5-minute mark of the third period.
Okay, yeah, both teams are playing with fire right there, but again, the refs doing it the right way, not trying to have any sort of say in the outcome. Both players who were involved are going to the box. They're explaining some pleasantries right now I'm in the penalty box. I would love to hear what they're saying right now, but we cannot do that here. So are we? I wonder what we're going to get here. If it's going to be 4-on-4 or if it's just going to be offsetting penalties.
We will sit and wait and see what we get from the officials here in the coming moments, as hopefully they will get something sorted out here in quick succession, as this has been a great game to watch from start to finish. We would just like to keep that momentum of this game going forward, as it's a 4-4 tie. We have exactly 5 minutes to go in the third period. Each team has held the lead in this game. Each team has looked like they had control of this game at some point, but both sides have fought valiantly. Coming back in this game, it was Buff State getting the first goal. Binghamton got the next 3 to open up a very healthy lead. Buffalo State charging back. We have a 4-4 tie here in the third period. We had a thrilling game earlier as well, as it was St. Bonaventure and Cortland going to overtime, a 7-6 finish. This one is shaping up to be an exciting finish as well, as what are we going to have called here on this?
Guerrero's getting tossed.
This isn't
good.
This is a bad loss here for the Bengals. Number 3, Mike Guerrera, is being shown the gate, as it appears he is either being given a 10-minute misconduct or a game misconduct for that exchange with Justin Franks. I'm going to need an explanation myself as to why Franks isn't getting the same penalty here. Both of them were equally involved in that exchange, neither one of them backing down for even a moment.
I mean, are they going to say Guerrera instigated it because he went to poke for a rebound? Because I really hope not, because it's a playoff game. If that thing's loose, I want guys getting a whack at it.
We've said this already today. The referees have done a good job of avoiding being a part of the result of the game. They certainly weren't in the earlier game. They did a good job of keeping that one on the straight and narrow. This is one of those situations I'm not sure they've done the same, because they have given the Buff State player a much more severe penalty in this case than the Binghamton player. They're both offensive weapons for their teams. Losing either one of them is a loss, and looks like Buff State might be without Guerrera here for certainly the rest of regulation, maybe for the rest of the game.
That'd be tough, but Buff State, they have to deal with it now, so let's see what they can do here.
Shot is taken there as Usinski had a little bit of a moment to get that one in on goal. Didn't look like it actually got in on A.J. White as the Bengals get that puck up ice. Now putting some pressure on here in the offensive end. Puck is dumped in by Cole Newman as the Bengals clear the zone. Now look to put some pressure on, giving a little help maybe there from the referee, as the puck then is fired up and out of play. So the Bengals will get an offensive zone draw coming up here. 4:25 to go in the period. Yeah, there's nowhere else that face-off would be. The ref had to find the puck.
He pointed somewhere. I'm not trying to kill the refs. I might have just glanced at the wrong time, so my apologies on that one.
Face-off is to the right of Adam Bloodgood. 4:25 remaining in regulation. It is a 4-4 score, as it's going to be Christopher Seamat carrying that puck forward out of his own zone through the neutral zone, dumping it into the Bengals territory. 3 players now putting on that race for the puck. It's going to be Ryan Kelly getting it. Couldn't get it up to Miller, though. Puck is turned over. Roll with a chance down low. Tried to go blocker save. Great save made by A.J. White as he got the right arm on that one. Joe Lotempio now moving that puck up ice. He's got Gallivan. Gallivan chips it past the defenseman into the offensive zone. He's the first one to it there in the corner. Just tries to get a pass out in front. Lotempio there wasn't exactly ready to accept that pass. Now Gallivan will have to battle in that far corner for a loose puck. Comes out to the near boards. Eventually it gets past Lotempio. And the Bearcats managed to get it out to center ice, sent right back in by Anton Rupert, however, as it ends up on the shelf of the boards there briefly. Now here on the near point, Ryan Hahn takes a hit, makes sure he keeps that one in the zone, getting it down deep, but it's going to be McKendry picking it up for Binghamton. He's got plenty of room to move it up that far side. McKendry now through the neutral zone as the Bengals just try to stick check him there. Puck comes out in front of the net, opportunity to get a shot in on goal, just couldn't quite get that one in, as it was Cullen letting that shot go. Looked like it hit an arm. Now the Bengals countering quickly in the other direction.
Great defense on both ends right there. Both teams hitting with speed, and both teams' defense just being brick walls back there. Sardina gets that pass from Rupert. Just couldn't get that shot in on net. Might have rolled on him a little bit before he let that one go. And now it's going to be moving in the other direction. The Bearcats into the offensive zone. Galante in that far corner looking for a pass, looking for that trailer. Doesn't see anyone. Just make sure he cycles it down low. Then he takes a hit. And now it's going to be Anton Rupert making sure he gets that puck up ice. Gets it past the defenseman all the way into the Binghamton zone. Slowly towards the netminder. Bloodgood sees the pressure coming. Throws the glove over top of it. Stops play here with 2:44 to go in the third period.
setting up to be a dramatic conclusion again to this semifinal game, just like we had in the earlier semifinal, Sean.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said about the first game, this game is no different. These games are absolutely 100% worth the price of admission to get here. I mean, we have fans, we have a packed house here, and we've had some great hockey that we've been treated to today.
This is certainly the type of games we would have hoped for in the league semifinals. They've been tight, physical, intensely contested games with a lot of offense. Bengals trying to get that next bit of offense, and they do. It's John Glasgow with his second of the game. The Bengals take the 5-4 lead with 2:21 to go in the third, and it's John Glasgow getting the go-ahead goal.
Huge goal for the Buffalo State Bengals. John Glasgow, Johnny on the spot. Just turnover in the neutral zone. Bengals gain the zone. Glasgow set up in the slot. He is not going to miss from there. And the Bengals, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds, get the lead. Aaron, buckle up. We are not done with this yet, and it looks like Binghamton's calling a timeout.
We were expecting maybe a timeout to come earlier in the proceedings, either from Binghamton when they allowed Buff State to roar back, or maybe from Buff State when Binghamton opened up their second period lead. Doesn't actually appear that a timeout's going to be taken here. Ready to get started again, 2:21 to go. Buffalo State has opened up a 5-4 lead. They had the first lead of the game, but they quickly relinquished that. Now they're trying to add to it. Ben Gallivan into the offensive zone. On his backhand here in the near corner, decides to just kill a little bit of time, pin it to the boards for a little bit, and now it comes back to the point. Ryan Kelly keeping it in. Bengals are going to try to do this as much as they can, keep the puck in the Binghamton zone for the next 2 minutes. Puck is in the far side now. It's Captain Joe Lotempio doing that dirty work in the far corner, taking a hit to keep that puck moving, making things difficult for Binghamton, trying to get that puck up ice. Now Galvin creates a turnover here on the near side. Binghamton's having a hard time just getting the puck out for the moment. Eventually they do, and it's going to be a dangerous player. Seamack into the offensive zone. He takes a shot, mishandled by White. Goes up over top of the net, though. Doesn't end up hurting him. But it's going to be Binghamton finding possession here in the offensive zone. Seamack tries to cut towards the middle of the ice, but Anton Rupert takes that one off his stick. Bloodgood was out of the net, heading towards the bench. Had to go back as it looked like it was the Bengals coming through the neutral zone, making an opportunity for that empty netter that they were maybe looking for. Bengals do get the puck out of the zone, get it into the neutral zone, but it hits the referee in the skate again, keeping the Bengals from getting it into the offensive zone. That one's going to be an icing, though,
play.
As Binghamton just plays it into the Buff State zone from their side of the red line. It was only a couple of steps over that puck was let go from, and that is the difference between icing and no icing, so the Bengals will get the offensive zone draw. There is a minute 4 remaining here in regulation. Bengals leading this one 5-4.
This is it, Aaron. Buffalo State they control their destiny right here. They're going to send Sardina out there to take this face-off. The play here, if you can, get possession, either get a puck to the net or get something down low. Now I think the timeout's been called.
Yeah, Binghamton finally takes their timeout,
yes.
And this it serves as a breather for both teams, as I'm sure they're trying to make sure that their top players are fresh as can be for this last 64 seconds remaining here in regulation. Bengals are going to make sure they have their top defensive players out there to make sure that they defend their net as best as they can for this last minute 4. And the offensive threats, those are the ones that are going to be ready to go from the Binghamton side. And it should be noted at this point there, because of that altercation there at the 5-minute mark of the period, Justin Franks is still in the box for Binghamton, one of their better offensive players. We already mentioned the fact that the Bengals lost Michael Guerrera in that exchange. And so this is kind of one of those positions where the loss of both the offensive player for Binghamton, as well as Guerrero, is a really good defensive end player as well. I'm sure that the Bengals would like to have him out there for this last minute 4. I'm sure the Bearcats would like to have Franks out there as well. Not going to work out, though, because of that exchange. And so exactly a minute 4 remaining, 5-4, the Bengals leading. Going to try to keep the puck on this right side of the ice as long as they can to make it as difficult for Binghamton as they possibly can.
Yeah, make them go 200 feet, Aaron. That is what you want to do when you have the lead. But I also want to see them get possession. This is good right here.
They do get possession, get it forced down low into the zone. It's going to be Sardina pinning it to the boards, trying to kill time, make things difficult. Puck comes out to Glasgow. He just fires a shot in towards the net. Almost an opportunity to take a 2-goal lead as Sardina was continuing to be hit in there behind the corner. He was looking for a penalty. Eventually, the puck is moved through the neutral zone into the Buff State territory. The net is empty for Binghamton as they get the 6-on-5 going. Sardina laying the physical play there as he took the hit there in the offensive zone. He came back with a vengeance into his own zone, and then it is cleared through the neutral zone by Anton Rupert, slowly into the Bearcat zone. No icing on this play as John Glasgow wins that foot race. 24 seconds remaining in regulation. Anton Rupert takes a hook, tries to get that shot in towards the net, up in the air and settled down with 15 seconds to go. Roll now carrying it up ice for the Bearcats. As we approach the 10-second mark, the Bengals stop that push into the offensive zone. Sardina moves it up ice, now 5 seconds remaining. Puck comes out the near side, off the boards, played forward. Bengals have control of it, and they're going to win this one by a 5-4 score. Buffalo State knocks off the Binghamton Bearcats 5-4, and it's going to be an all-West Division final tomorrow. Buffalo State against St. Bonaventure for the UNYCHL title.
Aaron, the only possible way we could get an encore for the hockey we got to watch today is if the two teams that won play in a championship, and that's what we have today. The Bengals take down a giant, a team that was coming in number one, a team that was vaunted all season. The Bengals, they get a lead. They blow the lead. They go down by 3. They are unfazed. They come in. They get the game tied. And then John Glasgow, one of the OGs on this team, gets the first goal, gets the last goal. And Aaron, finally a team that scored first wins a game in this playoffs.
Yeah, it's not something that has happened often. Actually, the team that scores first had lost 5 of 7 games in the UNYCHL playoffs before here. The Bengals get the first goal. They relinquish the lead. They manage to come back, and in the end, they come out with a dramatic 5-4 win over an excellent Binghamton Bearcat team. This has to be disappointing for them, as this is the second time in a row at the UNYCHL Final Four that they're unable to get it done, and you know that that is going to stick with them going forward. They are going to be ready to go when they get to Nationals in a few weeks in Philadelphia. Bengals, though, have a little bit more to play for. They will be in the championship game tomorrow afternoon, taking on St. Bonaventure. That game will come up at 3 p.m. right here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. You can also catch that game right here on the UNYCHL YouTube channel. Some final thoughts on that one there, Sean?
That was everything we could have asked for. We got 2 incredible hockey games back-to-back. We had drama. We had scoring. We had great plays. We had a little bit of everything today. It came down to what team was going to throw the last punch. Well, what team was going to land the last punch, and John Glasgow hits the Bearcats with an uppercut and knocks them out of this tournament. And we have the Buffalo State Bengals and the St. Bonaventure Bonnies, don't say you went to Bonaventure, in the championship game tomorrow, right back here at North Buffalo Ice Rink.
Well, we knew that whichever matchup we got in the finals was going to be an excellent one. 4 great teams coming in here this weekend, setting up a great semifinal day of play here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. Our first game was a thrilling 7-6 overtime win for the Bonnies. Our next game, another thrilling back-and-forth affair, another 1-goal game, this one taken by the Buffalo State Bengals. So tomorrow, in the UNYCHL Finals, it will be the Bonnies of St. Bonaventure and the Buffalo State Bengals playing for the title. Certainly hope you'll join us for that game tomorrow. That should do it for our coverage here from the North Buffalo Ice Rink. For color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Jeff Jezerowski, I'm Aaron Alpern. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.